live to Ohsweken Speedway here on G-Force TV as Club 54 presents Friday Night Excitement here at the Big O. I'm Greg Kellman. With me, Adam Ross. Clinton Jeffrey will be down trackside as tonight we've got 4 divisions of racing, but 2 of them a little different here tonight. And we'll kick things off with the Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour. We also have Thunderstocks brought to you by Middleport Mechanical. We've got the Northeast Late Model Alliance. The late models are here in town, brought to you tonight here by Vanderland Building Supplies, I believe is their tour sponsor. Am I correct on that one, Adam? And also we got the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising. Sprint cars in the house of the mini stocks and crate sprints get the night off. Vintage cars on the track.
Let's tell you who's driving what. On the pole in the 28G, it's Greg Hale from Napanee, Ontario. Alongside him from Kingston, the 40 is Tim Haggerty. Starting third, this is a familiar name for our fans here. From Vanessa, Ontario, it's Hannah Farrell in the number 48. Alongside her from Dresden, the 51 is Bill Profoda. Rounding out the field from Trenton is Brandon Gregory in the 01. We've got 2 heats, 5 cars in each.
Ready to go. The first green flag of the night. Hale and Haggerty will bring us to that green flag under Dave Hunsinger, and Haggerty will pull out to the early lead in that Green Shield Pest Control number 40.
6 laps the distance for these qualifying heats. And look at this, 2 wide, 2 deep already as they race down the back straightaway.
Hale's got the lead going into 3. Haggerty gets a little sideways there, gathers it back up as they work it off the corner. Haggerty at the line holds down second.
And these cars struggling to really maintain a line that kind of go every which way through the corners, but Greg Hale doing it the best so far, but not driving away by any stretch.
No, Profoda now in that second spot, tracking down leader Hale. Gregory's worked from the back, now catching the top 2.
Profoda going to run right in the tire tracks of Hale as they work through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, but the fastest car in practice was Brandon Gregory, and he looks like he's getting up to speed here now as well.
Off the corner they come, halfway home in this one. Hale leads over Profoda, Gregory, Haggerty, and Farrell.
I don't know what Hannah's got going on in the car, but her arms look extremely busy in there.
It's all Hale out in front. Profoda in that second spot, 2 laps left to go. Gregory feeling pressure again from Haggerty now in that 40 machine. That's a paint scheme I grew up watching a lot of Yves down in Cornwall over the years. And of course his son Joel also ran in the small block modifieds, and that's a throwback paint scheme to him.
Cool looking car for sure as they take the white flag. Hale continues to lead. Profoda looked like he was going to come up and challenge and then kind of flattened out there in the second spot. So it's all Greg Hale in heat race number 1.
Having the first checkered flag of the evening. And Hale's going to pick up the win over Profoda, and then it's going to be Gregory, Haggerty, and Farrell completing the running order in the first of 2 qualifying heats for the Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour. Haggerty gets sideways down there in corner 1, and he'll get to the pit area as we get ready to bring you the second qualifying heat.
So for those who are just arriving or who haven't heard, a big announcement this week on social media. Ryan Turner quite eloquently announced that he was leaving the Burger Barn Racing Team. Said what a difficult decision it was, didn't cite any reason, and he didn't have any ride lined up for this week. Well, a few days go by, and lo and behold, Ryan Turner is here driving the Hoopinen 14H. And another driver change this week. Mac DeMann is on vacation, so Jesse Costa behind the wheel of the 17X in the 360 sprints tonight.
We almost need like a J-Ski silly season page to keep up on all the news here, the way things are going. But yeah, big news this week, especially in the 360 sprints. Here we go, heat race number 2. Andy Imbo lines up on the pole. He is from Niagara Falls. To the outside is Doug Flash Gordon from Fort Erie in the 43. Bill Montreal out of Port Colborne in the 2 will line up third. Going fourth, Mark Shadwell in the 07. He's from Hamilton. And Randy Ferguson from Dunnville in the 16 will start 5th.
It's funny, it's almost like Heat 1 was Eastern Ontario and Heat 2 is Southern Ontario. The horseshoe heat. And obviously these cars a little bit more vintage than what we saw in the first heat.
And Doug Flash Gordon lives up to the nickname as he jumps out to the lead, and I don't think that's going to stick.
I'm not sure.
Well, maybe it is.
He slowed down quite a bit going down into turn number 1, so he didn't keep the advantage that he built.
Looks like we'll stay green as they work it off the corner. Imbo will lead the first lap over Gordon.
Shadwell looking to work on that second position in the 07. Gets pretty loose between 1 and 2, but a big run down the back straightaway.
Gordon holding down that second spot, but Shadwell all over his rear Nerf bars. They complete 2 laps, 6 in these qualifiers for the Vintage Modifieds.
I know he's running at the back, but I love the look of that number 16.
Here we go, cross flags, 3 and 3 to go for Andy Imbo out of Niagara Falls. Shadwell now works to the outside of Gordon down in corner number 1, leans on it heavy down there.
Shadwell drives it deep down into the turn. He's got to use a higher groove to do that. He's going to do it again down in 3 and 4, trying to carry enough speed to get to the outside of Doug Gordon.
2 laps left to go for Imbo. Great battle for that second spot as our drone gives chase in this battle between the 43 and the 07. Look at Shadwell working to the outside now in 3.
White flag is out, one more lap as Shadwell works towards the right rear of the 43 of Doug Gordon. He'll make the move going into turn 1.
Got a bird's eye view of that move as Gordon holds the spot. Shadwell all over the back end. He'll take one more run on the outside at 3.
He's going to go up to the cushion in that 07, but I think he scrubbed off a little too much speed. Imbo going to take the win. Doug Gordon second. Shadwell third, and then it's the 2 of Bill Montreuil. And rounding out the field, it's Randy Ferguson in that 16.
Well, with the late models in town, we have a ton of Thunderstocks here because some have traveled from out of town as well to come with their late model buddies.
36 cars to be exact, and here's how they'll line up in heat race number 1. On the pole from Thorold in the 11, it's Go Fast Teeple. On the outside of row 1 from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. Starting third in the 43 from Hamilton is Kyle Andrus. Starting fourth from Hagersville, the 75 is Ryan Berry. Starting fifth from Lucan, the 2M is Mark McDonald. Starting sixth from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. Tim Fail drives the 427. He'll start 7th out of Binbrook. Starting in 8th, he's had engine trouble the last couple of weeks. From Hagersville, the number 3 is Devin Bacher. And rounding out the field from London, the 76 is Jamie Googe.
See, the real boss at Brighton Speedway's tuned in tonight. Angie is watching us. So we better be on our best behavior.
We really better. Angie, do I need to buy a razor and send it home with your son? He missed a spot.
Casey Huffman works that outside line. Here comes Go Fast Teeple on the bottom, and the guy with the big run is Logan Schwedick heading into corner 3.
Schwedick up high. A little bit of smoke off that 53 from the looks of it as he drove down into turn 3, but Casey Huffman going to lead the first lap.
I feel like Logan's kind of struggling this year. We haven't heard his name much. We haven't mentioned it, but that's always a strong car. And here he is going to the front of the field where we're used to seeing that 53 of Logan Schwedick.
The way the handicap works, Logan Schwedick, if he can get himself qualified into the feature, he's going to have a great starting spot. And that's a good way to turn your luck around if they've got the gremlins worked out of the race car. He looks pretty quick out there as he's taking the lead and driving away.
Huffman holding down second. Teeple to the outside of McDonald. It's the battle for the third spot. And Devin Bacher slow down the backstretch in the 3.
Man, oh man, Bacher can't buy luck the last couple of weeks in that 3 machine. Casey Huffman hanging on to second. Mark McDonald, a big clump of mud, comes out the back of that 2M as he races side by side with Go Fast Teeple. Kyle Andrus right there in the battle as well.
Bacher's going to take the 3 to the pit area now, and Jamie Googe will go by him. Good to see Jamie Googe. That car seems to be up to a little bit more speed this week. And I know I was talking to his brother Tommy through the week and said he was qualified for the A-main last week. Unfortunately, had motor problems and couldn't make it for the A. But good to see that car going a little quicker this week.
As you say that, he's off the pace. He just slowed out there in that 76 machine. The hard part about dirt racing is you don't get a lot of laps. 3 laps of practice, 8 laps in a heat. If you qualify for the feature, you get 20 laps there. To put that into perspective, Glenn Stiers in the NASCAR Pinty's race at Edmonton ran 140 laps of practice.
All kinds of time there to try and get suited to it. 2 laps left to go for Logan Schwedek over Huffman McDonald. And side by side right now with Phelan and Teeple.
Yeah, Tim Phelan making a late charge in that 427. He'll work to the outside. Kyle Andrus on the inside as Mark McDonald drives up the inside of Casey Huffman. But out in front, it's all Logan Schwedek.
White flag goes up in the air for the Advantage Electric Tire Craft, number 53. McDonald in that second spot. It's by Casey Huffman working the inside line. Here comes Phelan trying to join in the party for that runner-up position.
Phelan's got some speed. What he does not have is much time remaining. Logan Schwedek going to take the win in this qualifying heat. Mark McDonald's going to try to hold off Casey Huffman. They fan out 3 wide. McDonald, Huffman, Phelan, Teeple, Andrus, Barry is how they'll finish. And then here comes Jamie Googe in the 76.
So 4 qualifiers tonight for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock. Still 3 to go. Rob Hoskins lines up on the pole in heat race number 2. He's from Harley in the 37. Melissa Miller out of Ohsweken in the 93 starts second. Going third from Ohsweken, the 38 Frank Turkey. Fourth from Caister Center, the 28 of Jim Lampman. And starting in fifth from Caister Center as well, the 28D of Donnie Lampman. Going from sixth in the 07, Scott McPhail from Hamilton, and going 7th out of Caledonia, Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne in the 55. Trevor DeBoer in the 23 from Hagersville goes 8th, and starting 9th from Caister Center, the 41 of Adam Plazik. I think we got Clinton Jeffrey trackside.
I'll be back with a track report right after this heat, Greg.
What a tease.
Sorry, I was committed to that starting lineup when I got the pitch.
He had one job. Coming to the green in heat race number 2. Happy birthday to Melissa Miller in 93 as well.
Green goes out. Here we go. Heat race number 2. Rob Hoskins had a solid night last Friday night, and good to see it in the 37. Here comes the Lampmans. Jim ran out of room there.
There's only room for one Lampman at a time out there, clearly. One of them had to go. Jim Lampman bites the brakes, gets out of harm's way. Donnie Lampman in the second spot. Melissa Miller third. Jim Lampman back and forth.
It's kind of like going to the mall and you think that person in front of you is going to hold the door, and then, oop, no, they're not.
Don't you hate that?
Oh, Mike Thorne around in corner 2.
They were close racing down the front straightaway. Thorne came across the nose of the Adam Plazik 41, and then Adam Plazik came across the back end of the 55.
We'll stay green with Hoskins out in front for Donnie Lampman, who's tracking quick, and that orange Monte Carlo, the 28D, looks down low on Hoskins.
And Mike Thorne just ahead of these race leaders. You needed to wait another 5 seconds and the yellow would have come out, but here he is racing out in front in that Burger Barn 55. Look at Rob Hoskins going to squeeze himself. No, he's not. Between Donnie Lampman and the 55 at Thorne, he backs out of that hole. He'll take a run off of turn 4.
Here comes Hoskins back in the bottom, but Donnie Lampman will lead the lap. 4 in, 4 to go as the DNS Automotive 28D sails around the outside of Hoskins. He'll get a good run off of corner 2 and trying to inch ahead of the 37.
Whoa, Scott McPhail up into the outside wall down the back straightaway. He loses a little bit of time, but no positions, as Donnie Lampman still leads the way over Robert Hoskins in that 37 machine. Where did Hoskins finish last Friday, Greg? Did he was having a great run. Did he wind up in the top 5?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at the running order from that, but he was running in the top 5 for most of the night, so we'll have to have a look and see where he finished. He's second right now behind Donnie Lampman with 2 laps left to go.
The battle is on for third. Trevor DeBoer taking a long slide into turn number 1. Ran out of racing room, had to lift out of the throttle. That allowed Jim Lampman to get around for that third spot.
Fourth spot was Rob Hoskins last week, one shy of the podium. So good run for him, and here he is strong again tonight. But Donnie Lampman's been very fast since the drop of this green flag. Oh! Hoskins and Jim Lampman make contact.
Hoskins trying to squeeze down Jim Lampman. Lampman must have thought, no, I'll be squeezed down, but not quite that far. Donnie Lampman takes the win. Rob Hoskins second. Jim Lampman, Trevor DeBoer, Scott McPhail, Melissa Miller, Mike Thorne, and Adam Plazik round out the finishing order.
Well, guys, here's our first Case IH track report of the night. You can see, guys, still very wet down here on the inside lane. As you get to the middle, second, third, fourth, it's pretty smooth right up to the outside. Starting to get hard pack and slick a little bit here. I don't think we're going to have a cushion night, Adam, as you mentioned. Just want to mention all our fans, you can go down to the speed shop and pick up one of these cards. And if you scan the QR code, you can win your shot for 2 all-access passes to the 2023 Daytona 500, courtesy of our friends at Quick Wick.
Wow. That's cool. Hey, can we win that, Clint?
We absolutely can. You just got to waddle your butt down to the speed shop and pick up a free card.
I'm out.
Also, we have free posters down there as well, so any of the kids go down there, you can scan the QR code, pick up a free Ohsweken Speedway poster, and check out all the amazing souvenirs we've got here just inside the concession booth, guys.
Nice read, but we got work to do. Mike Flazinga in the 93K, Kyle Wirt in the 19, Brian General in the 13.5, Christopher Hale in the 79, the 97 is Ron Logie, 25 is Ken Sargent, the 32 is Mark Fawcett, Blake Bomberry in the 24, and Ryan Beagle in the 84K.
He had me until he said we had to walk somewhere. Oh, Kyle Wirt, he's got to win this year, and he jumps out to the early lead down the backstretch. Klazinga in that second spot, and they're 3 wide behind him. General trying to gather up the 13.5. Oh, contact with Sargent, and then the wall.
That's a good thing Kenny and the wall were there. Kept and General pulling off of the racetrack. He'll head up turn number 2 and head towards the pit area. Out in front, it's Kyle Wirt over Mike Klazinga. And it's Ron Logie in the middle of a 3-wide battle momentarily there with Christopher Hale and Mark Fawcett. But he hits the loud pedal and makes a move for the second spot.
Klazinga's had a very solid year. And that Ohsweken Pharmasave, number 93K, rides in the second spot. Good battle behind him for 2 drivers that have almost won this year. Ron Logie and Mark Fawcett. Don't be surprised if we see them in Quick victory lane before the season's over.
No, for sure. They've come awfully close as Mike Klazinga makes a move on Kyle Wirt. Couldn't carry that speed on the bottom, had to lift just a little bit, so he's going to get back to the top of the racetrack and try to make another run on our race leader.
Now, typically, this would be our fast car heat. Minus Dave Bailey is not out there because he's going to be in the 4th heat with a whole bunch of visitors. So the handicapping system leaves Dave Bailey out of this one.
Close quarters racing on the back straightaway. Kenny Sargent, Christopher Hale, Ryan Beagle. Hale didn't like being in the middle. He'll drop to the inside in the 79, but it costs him a spot to Beagle.
Wirt out in front. Here's Fawcett now trying to get a run on the inside line on Klazinga. Klazinga keeps that white Monte Carlo up on the high side, rolling strong and steady as we come down. It's 2 laps left to go. Wirt, Klazinga, Fawcett, Logie, and then the battle between Sargent and Beagle.
Logie kind of ran Ryan Beagle out of racing room there coming off the corner. Beagle going to take another run, but Logie, and he's got the right to that lane. He's coming up off the corner and then heading to the outside. So Ryan Beagle's really going to have to stand on it if he wants to get between Ron Logie and that outside wall. And he knew it. Ryan Beagle wisely backed out of it. Because on the right side, if you pull up the right side of a race car, you've got to be way up that car for the driver to see that you're there.
Off of corner 4 to the checkered flag. Kyle Wirt will pick up the win over Mike Klazinga. Then it's Mark Fawcett, Ron Logie, Ryan Beagle, Ken Sargent, Christopher Hale, and Blake Bomberry Jr. will conclude the running order of heat race number 3. 1 more to go for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. They'll roll off the micro sprint track there up in corner number 3. Dave Bailey, the point leader, starts on the pole. He's from Hagersville in the 49. To his outside, Gord Grant from Morpeth in the 13G. Going from 3rd from Shannonville, the 26 of Craig Hanley. And his outside, Jaron Israel from Ransomville, New York, in car number 10. He'll start 4th. Going 5th from Font Hill in the 7K, it's Kevin Kokrick. And going 6th from Napanee, the 23M, is Doug May. Also from Napanee in the 16, it's Doug O'Blennis. He'll go 7th. Going from 8th from Chatham, the 96T, Todd Shaw. And Dave Small at Port Colborne in the 7X will start in 9th.
Kind of cool to see Jaron Israel make the trip to race with us on a Friday night. Obviously, normally at Ransomville Speedway, but he's been racing forever.
I saw him on Facebook this week trying to make the decision. It was here. I believe Outlaw Speedway had an event as well, but glad he chose to come here tonight. I think I've only ever seen him maybe once or twice here in the past.
He's an absolute terror in the enduro races at Ransomville.
That's an art into itself. Green flag is out. The final qualifier for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Bailey jumps out to the lead over Grant.
So Dave Bailey out in front, and behind him is a bunch of wild cards. We don't know how these cars are going to perform on this racetrack. Some of them have been here before. I think most of them have been here at least once, but certainly not regulars.
Bailey out in front over Craig Hanley in that 26 machine. He gets a little wobbly down in corner 1. That opens up Jaron Israel to try and get a run down the back stretch, but Hanley gathers it back up solidly in that 2nd spot.
Todd Shaw in the 96 at the back of the field right now, but he's the defending champion at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. He's got a win down there this season.
Still no slow cars really in this heat, all good at their own regular race tracks on race nights.
I heard from Todd's dad, Steve. Steve's not even sure if Todd's seen this racetrack before, which really surprised me.
I guess with all the last 2 years in G-Force, we saw him so much, you just kind of assume that he's been here, right?
But absolutely. And he's having fits back there between a couple of 7s. He can't find a whole lot of racing room. They're going to split a car down the backstretch.
And May right there in the middle. And Grant having a handful right in front of them, getting sideways in the 13 machine.
Oh! Well, that could have been worse. See, the front end busted up on the 23 machine.
Doug May out of Napanee. Parked down in the infield. He'll back it up.
I think, yeah, the right front, the tie rod on the right front is broke.
Well,
he's got a flat left front.
He seemed to be able to steer there pretty well. Get himself out of the infield. Kokrick down. May into Small, and then...
And Small could have gone for a wild ride
Yeah.
there. When you clip someone's right rear like that, that could have been a wild one. May's going to have to head pit side with that flat tire. Is our push truck going to relocate the hay bale at the end of the concrete wall? Opportunity here for Craig Hanley, Jaron Israel to get a pass straight into the feature event, because there will certainly be a B-main tonight for the Thunderstocks.
See the late models line up ready to go with their qualifying heats following this. And then the 360 sprints. We'll have 3 heats for the late models, 3 for the sprint cars as well.
Surprised that push truck couldn't move the hay bale into place. Let's try a tow truck.
I'm afraid it might not stay together.
Yeah. When I nod my head, you hit it. All right. Nicely done. Nicely done.
We need some fresh shrink wrap in aisle 2, please.
Here goes Clint over there to oversee the operation. He saw it. It's good. White flag displayed by Dave Hunsinger. Best part-time flagman these parts have ever seen.
All right, here we go. Dave Bailey lines up on the outside of Craig Hanley in the 26. Israel and O'Blennis back there in row number 2 as we come back to the green flag. 4 to go.
Pretty diverse group of names you just listed. Bailey, Handley, Israel, and O'Blennis. Familiar names for diehard dirt racing fans, but you got to get around all the way around Lake Ontario to have known all of these drivers. They're 3 wide down the backstretch, almost 4 wide, but Todd Shaw didn't quite drive it in there between Small and Cochran.
Dave Bailey trying to run away, but Hanley keeping pace in that 26. Israel right behind him as well. 3-car breakaway. O'Blennis back there in the 4th spot.
I can't take my eyes off that battle at the back between Todd Shaw and Kokrick and Small. Here goes Shaw way to the outside. There's room up there. Kokrick leaves that lane open for him. Shaw going to roll the outside off of turn number 2. Ran out of bite there.
White flag coming out for Dave Bailey, and Craig Hanley is keeping pace right now in that Peacemaker 420, number 26 right there, a car length back. Gets a little sideways through 2. That allows Bailey to gain some ground as he'll come to the checkered flag.
Hanley's had some success on the road before. I don't think he's won here at Ohsweken, though. Dave Bailey out in front. Hanley going to finish 2nd. Jaron Israel 3rd. 4th to Doug O'Blennis. 5th to Dave Small. And 6th, it's a close one. Todd Shaw edges out Kevin Kokrick by 3/1000ths of a second.
So the Northeast Late Model Alliance, brought to you by Vanderland Building Products, is heading out onto the Speedway. 3 qualifying heats. And Adam, lineup for heat number 1.
All the cars are going to qualify tonight, but it's important for these drivers to get to the top 3. There will be a redraw at the end of the heat races, and the top 3 from each heat will redraw for the first 9 starting positions. On the pole out of Trenton, the number 5 is Steve Baldwin. Outside from Brighton, the 21 is Rich Standers. Starting 3rd from Gravenhurst, the 38 is Mike Gowdy. Starting 4th from Brighton, the 73 is Nathan Rinaldi. Starting 5th from Blenheim, the 00 is Jim Dale Jr. And starting 6th in the 14 from Orono, it's Brant Graham. Starting 7th from Blenheim, the 49 is Brett Hope. Starting 12th from Ridgeway, the 15 is Tim Gillespie. And rounding out the field from Cherry Valley, Ontario, the 92 is Adam Turner.
9 cars, 8 laps the distance for the Northeast Late Model Alliance, ready to come to the green flag. Baldwin on the hammer with Sanders on the outside.
Baldwin down low, Sanders up high. A couple of Brighton Speedway regulars. Jim Dale Jr. 3 wide to the inside down the backstretch.
All file through the corner. Rinaldi caught there in the middle as they come off the corner. It's Baldwin, Sanders in a 3 wide fight. Graham now on the outside.
To his credit, Nathan Rinaldi in the middle, but he didn't lift. Bad push for Nathan Rinaldi. Gillespie catches him in the left rear corner. And again, I'm not sure if the front tires on Nathan Rinaldi's car are both pointed in the right direction, because it looked like the left front tire, Greg, had gone lock all the way to the left.
Yeah, that's what I saw too as they went through the corner. So we'll have a look and see what the 73 machine can do here. Gillespie's going to tag on to the back of the field, so it should be no harm, no foul for him. And Rinaldi has a little damage on the left rear, but that car seems to be steering okay for him.
So what we're going to see is on the far left of the screen when we have a look at this replay down in turns 1 and 2. We'll go with the far right of the screen.
Your other left. Yeah, he was right.
No, he wasn't right. You
Far
look
left.
at the far right of the screen. Just because he ended up on the left side, pay no attention to the first 5 seconds.
What happened was on the left side.
If we had a telestrator, we could have circled the car.
I agree with Spencer on this one. I may go back to not liking you, Adam.
I welcome the opportunity. Steve Baldwin in the 5, Rich Sanders in the 21, going to bring him back to green. Double file restart.
Here comes Jim Dale Jr. on the outside now. Graham digging on the bottom of the 14 machine, and he'll take over the second spot. He's been doing a lot of racing south of the border in that number 14, and here he is running second.
A little further back, they're looking for racing room. 2 wide, 3 wide as they work off at turn number 4. Jim Dale trying to hold off Adam Turner down into the first turn. Turner keeping the pressure on. Look at Gowdy up the outside in that 38. Holy moly.
Yeah, he shot out of a cannon there off the second corner, and Adam Turner doing a nice job. He started in the tail of this one, challenging for the third spot with Jim Dale Jr. as they go into corner 1.
Jim Dale throwing some big defense in that 0-0, but Adam Turner having nothing of it. He gets there up into that redraw we talked about at the top 3. Critically important if these drivers want to start in the top 10. And we're halfway through this first late model heat.
No surprise at all to see Steve Baldwin out in front, always smooth and steady in that number 5 multi-time winner down at Brighton Speedway. Right behind him, the youngster Brant Graham, who's come up through the asphalt ranks and switched over to dirt, ran some UMP Canadian modifieds, and now into the late models, looking racy as he's got the veteran Adam Turner now working on the back end.
Adam Turner's really making good speed around the bottom of the racetrack, able to get back to the throttle real quick. Turner's going to pick up that second spot.
Goes down low in corner number 1, has the spot away from Brant Graham. Started back in the 9th spot, did Adam Turner. Running out of time to chase down leader Steve Baldwin, but he's closing the gap.
Nice recovery as well by Gillespie in the 15. He's up there battling for the 4th spot. Whoever finishes 4th in this heat is going to have the 10th starting spot for tonight's feature.
Final time down the backstretch for Steve Baldwin in the 5 machine. He'll come off of corner number 4 to the checkered flag and pick up the win in heat race number 1. Then it's Adam Turner, Brant Graham in 3rd. Side by side off the line, Jim Dale Jr. gets it over Tim Gillespie. And then it's Brett Hope, Mike Gowdy in the 38, Nathan Rinaldi, and Rich Sanders completing the running order.
Good race.
Second heat rolling out onto the speedway, going from the pole out of Picton in car 87. It's Andrew Hennessy going from the second spot from Gravenhurst, the 00G. It's Ryan Gowdy. Going from 3rd from Essex, the 38D is Doris Lajeunesse. And from the 4th spot out of Port Colborne, the 19 junior, Rob Lettingham. Going from 5th out of Brighton, the 46, Brandon Mowat. And from the 6th spot from Petawawa in the 01, it's Eli Mayhew. From 7th out of Trenton, it's the 11 of Kyle Sopaz. And going from the 8th spot, Ken Winfield in the 82.
That's how the lineup. Andrew Hennessy going to set the pace. Gowdy up on the outside of row number 1. A couple of Brighton Speedway cars. Then Lajeunesse in the 38. A Southern Ontario Motor Speedway entry.
Heat number 2 underway for the Northeast Late Model Alliance, brought to you by Vanderland Building Products. Oh, wow.
Rob Lettingham tried to close the door, and Brandon Mowat was hammered down into turn number 1.
Hennessy out in front right now over Ryan Gowdy in the 00. Mowat right behind them, and Kyle Sopaz is quick on it. Started in the 7th spot, challenging for 3rd.
It's going to be a big battle here for 2nd and 3rd. Again, those redraw spots are important. You finish in the top 3, you're going to start the feature in the top 9. Lettingham seeking revenge on Brandon Mowat. He aimed directly at the left rear of that 46 machine.
Holds on to that blast hole, number 19 junior, as they come off of corner 2. He'll work it down the banking and down the backstretch as the battle for 2nd. Kyle Sopaz will take that spot, known as the bite-sized bandit or K-Rex in car number 11.
Gowdy doing a good job in that 00 in the 3rd spot. Here goes Lettingham again, battling with Mowat. He fed him a front bumper. That didn't help, so he's going to make the pass there off of turn number 2 and see if he can settle in and track down the 3rd position.
4 in, 4 to go. It's all Andrew Hennessy over Kyle Sopaz, and it's Ryan Gowdy who's being challenged by Rob Lettingham, who pushed way up in corner number 2.
These two get to battling. That'll allow Brandon Mowat to join the fray, make it a 3-car tussle for 3rd. Eli Mayhew isn't too far back either behind them.
Rob Lettingham with all sorts of laps here at Ohsweken Speedway. Remember him in the Sportsman days, and here he is. He'll take over the 3rd spot.
Slides up in front of Gowdy in the 0-0 and then pushes in turn 3. Gowdy takes the spot back. He'll cross him over.
Takes the position back now with 2 laps left to go. Brandon Mowat watching behind Gowdy and Lettingham out in front. All Andrew Hennessy's already beginning to catch the tail of the field in Doris Lajeunesse.
White flag for Hennessy. Sopaz all by himself in 2nd. Rob Lettingham holding on to 3rd. Mowat in 4th as Hennessy gets below Doris Lajeunesse. Finds the cushion in 3 and 4, drives it down the hill toward the checkered flag. Andrew Hennessy going to take the win. Kyle Sopaz in 2nd, Rob Lettingham 3rd in the J19. Then it's Brandon Mowat, Gowdy in the 0-0, Mayhew in the 0-1. Come on, Kenny Winfield. Losing the front end down in 3 and 4 is Kenny Winfield in the 82, but he'll get it home. And rounding out the field is Doris Lajeunesse. 3rd and final heat rolling off now. We'll see if there's any leftover hard feelings between Lettingham and Brandon Mowat. It looks like Mowat's giving him lots of room as they head off the racetrack. Heat number 3 on the pole from Niagara Falls. The 311 is Sam Panaccio. Outside row number 1 from Trent in the 57 is Charlie Sandercock. Starting 3rd from Merlin, the 47B is Joe Brosseau. Starting 4th from Wilson, New York, the 1S is Dave Stolzenberg. Starting 5th from Orono, Ontario, the 98 is Craig Graham. Starting 6th from Brighton, the 33 is Dave Vandertorn. Starting 7th from Port Hope, the 89 is Austin King. And rounding out the field from Codrington, the 55 is Brad Rayner. Third and final heat, 25 good-looking dirt late models here tonight to do battle. Who will finish in the top 3? Everybody qualifies for the feature, but the top 3 get a chance to redraw for their starting spot. And Stolzenberg with trouble getting up to speed in the 1S as Charlie Sandercock rolls the outside of 1 and 2 to take the lead. Panaccio into 2nd.
He'll power by Panaccio as they go down into corner number 3, work it off the corner and complete lap number 1. Sandercock over Panaccio. Here's the fight between Brosseau and Craig Graham in the 98.
Side by side they go for 3rd. Graham all sorts of sideways on the inside, but gets back to the gas. He'll clear Brosseau and hold down that 3rd position for the time being, as out front Charlie Sandercock is setting sail.
Austin King and Brad Rayner having a good fight right now back there, along with Vandertorn in the 33 3-car fight off of corner number 2. Rayner gets the spot, but here comes Vandertorn on the outside.
Vandertorn running a good line in 1 and 2 up on the high side. Got a little bit up into the fluffy stuff in 3 and 4, but still holding a nice line in that 33 machine. He eases into the corner, but really powers through the center and off.
4 in, 4 to go for Charlie Sandercock over Sam Panaccio, who's got Craig Graham behind him. Then it's Brosseau all by himself, riding back in the 4th spot. Vandertorn going at it with the 55 of Brad Rayner. Rayner works the bottom. He'll take the spot away.
And Rayner is leaving that outside lane. He knows Vandertorn is out there. He comes up the track off the corner, but still leaves a car width for Vandertorn to streak off the corner. Almost leaves a car width.
Charlie Sandercock works it off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go. Way out in front, straightaway advantage over Panaccio, who's got some company now as Graham closes the gap on him down in corner number 1.
Graham on the inside, Panaccio up high with the run down the back straightaway. He'll hang on to that 2nd spot as the white flag flies for Charlie Sandercock.
One more time around for Charlie, but the battle is for that 2nd spot. The 311 and the 98. Graham again goes down low in corner number 1. Can't get the same run he did last time by.
Off of turn number 4, Charlie Sandercock going to take the heat race win. The battle for second rages on. Side by side, Panaccio, though, brings it off of turn number 4 to the checkers. He'll take second. Graham going to come home third. Fourth will be Brosseau. Fifth will be Rayner. Then it's Vandertoorn, Austin King, and David Stolzenberg. Clinton Jeffrey, what's going on?
Hey, Adam, I've been reading some of the comments from everybody watching at home asking what type of late models are these. These are not opens. These are crate late models, so you can run the 604 as the chosen package. 602, which is our sprints run, and our Thunderstocks are acceptable in this deal. A little bit underpowered, but the 604 is the choice package, so they are crate late models. We do have a late model open coming up later in the summer, and that'll have both the opens and the crates together. But tonight, we're all crates, guys.
Good stuff as we get ready to move on to the 360 Sprints, brought to you by Cool Kids Ice and Water and Core Pack Merchandising. 3 heats in total. 26 cars here this evening, so we will need a B-main tonight. Going from the pole in this one, from St. Catharines in the 46, it's Kevin Pauls. And rolling off the second spot out of Beamsville, the 88H is Josh Hansen. Starting in third for Mount Bridges, the 45, that's Nick Sheridan. And going from fourth, competing tonight with the 360 from here in Ohsweken, it's Tyler Powless in the 7017. Starting in fifth from Caister Centre, the 11, that'll be Jamie Turner to his outside from Kerstal, Victoria, Australia. Car number 20 is Braden Cooley. And from the 7th spot out of right here in Ohsweken, car 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. Starting in the 8th spot from Brantford, the Little Pen 110, that's Jake Brown. And going from the 9th spot in car number 13 from Tilsonburg, it's Corey Turner. 9 cars, 8 laps, heat race number 1 for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Are we missing Josh Hansen? We're missing Josh Hansen. He pulled off in practice a lap before everybody else did, so must have had some sort of an issue that they've not been able to resolve. That'll shuffle up the starting order here. And so they're going to move up that outside row. So it should be Tyler Powless on the outside of row number 1 now. Braden Cooley on the outside of row 2. Jake Brown on the outside of row 3. And now Corey Turner on the outside of row 4.
Set and ready to go. 8 laps the distance. Green flag goes in the air. The first of 3 qualifying heats for the 360s.
A couple of heavy hitters at the back of the field. Corey Turner and Glenn Stiers. Jake Brown, no slouch either. He charges up the outside, does Jake Brown on this opening lap. But leading the way, it's going to be Braden Cooley.
Braden Cooley out of Australia in car number 20. He's been getting it done on the micro sprint track on Thursday nights as well. He's ripping the top right now over Tyler Powless. Jacob Brown, who rocketed from the back already, now challenging for that second spot. Now Glenn Stiers with problems at the back. He'll gather that up.
Stiers up and off the racetrack. Nick Sheridan slings it to the outside in 1 and 2. He has to check up for Tyler Powless, but that's no problem. He'll go to the inside, slide up in front of the 77 for second.
Nick Sheridan, great car control for that 45. Man, he knows how to pilot that Vibrant Farms Pride Seed 45 as he takes the second spot and tracks down Braden Cooley, your leader.
Man, oh man, Corey Turner slid up the track in turn 2, just about clobbered the outside wall. That allowed Jacob Brown to get by, but out in front it remains Cooley by half a straightaway over Nick Sheridan. Tyler Powell is doing a great job hanging on to third.
Cooley leads lap number 5, 3 to go over Sheridan in second, and it's Brown Turner who's worked his way from the back. Powless and now Stiers trying to make some ground up. He's got that car sailing around.
Powless just blew it off the outside of turn 3 the last time by. That lap he lost 3 positions, but still, he's done a nice job for his first outing I can think of here in a 360 sprint.
2 to go this time by, make that 1 to go this time by for Braden Cooley in the GSR number 20. Nick Sheridan tracking him down. Oh, Stiers was catching. Turner got a little hot off of corner 4.
He tried to throw a slider and he didn't quite commit to it and got himself a little crossed up. Checkered flag in the air. Braden Cooley going to take the win. Nick Sheridan comes home second. Jacob Brown third. Corey Turner all the way up to fourth. Glenn Stiers fifth. Tyler Powell is sixth. Seventh will be Jamie Turner, and eighth is going to be Kevin Pauls.
Good run for Braden Cooley. He's still getting his feet wet here in Canada, and definitely has that number 20 machine hooked up tonight for GSR. And he'll pick up the heat race win. Still 2 to go. As we see heat race number 2 buzzing around there on the micro sprint track, coming to life. Going from the pole in this one from Hamilton, the 01K, it's Mikey Krutchka. And lining up to his outside, boy, this is quite the front row, isn't it? Car number 9 from Binbrook, Liam Martin. They have a bit of history from 1 week ago. Starting from third out of St. Williams, the 21 of John Burbridge Jr. Going fourth from Port Colborne, the 5D, that'll be Jacob Dykstra. Starting in fifth out of Scotland, the 87X, Sean Evans. And going to his outside from Beachville, car number 5, DJ Christie, starts in sixth. Going seventh out of Brampton, the 70MM, Dave McKnight Jr., and going from 8th out of Dorchester, car number 1 will be Holly Porter. And starting in 9th tonight, filling in for the highlight man, Mac to man, that'll be Jesse Costa out of St. Thomas in car 17X.
Great to see Jesse Costa get this opportunity in the 17X we mentioned earlier, but McDeman is on vacation down in the Maritimes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Jesse in a 360 sprint car because he can get it done. And if I'm not mistaken, he originally started in a 360 many years ago. I might be wrong on that, but I think he had a few starts in the 360s.
Whoa, Dave McKnight going around.
And that will put us back under the caution flag as he's stalled that one out.
Right in front of Jesse Costa. Push trucks on the way. DJ Christie was real fast in practice earlier on, and did he ever look good last Friday night here? Had that 5 machine hooked up.
Yeah, he was flying just from the drop of the green in the heat races last week and throughout the feature in that quick fire starter number 5.
So Liam Martin in the 9, Mikey Krutchka in the 01 had a moment last Friday that left Mikey Krutchka spun around in turn number 1, and he made a visit to the pits last week to share his opinion of things. And Mikey's a veteran. He knows how to do that without escalating a situation but getting his point across. We've got some very good young racers. I mean, look at Liam Martin, DJ Christie, Nick Sheridan. I mean, real youngsters with the future ahead of them. Jacob Dykstra in the 5D. Now Holly Porter has rolled to a stop. That type of talent is going to come with mistakes. We saw it a couple of weeks ago. Josh Hansen as well. The slide job that failed as a slide job, but won Josh Hansen the race. I think that's a move you only get to make once without being penalized for it, and he's used that up, and good for him. But we're going to see that out of some of these young racers, because the only way you find the limit is by going over it a little bit once in a while. And we've got veterans like the Turners, Mikey Krutchka, and a host of others, Clinton, that will let these young drivers know when they've stepped over the line.
Yeah, I just want to mention Holly Porter's radio's not working. She stopped in turn number 2. That's why we had to bring the yellow back out. But yeah, we do have a great crop of young drivers here, Adam, and I actually got to talk to Mike. Mike said, man, this sport is on fire right now with all these young kids. You know, we just got to make sure we're showing each other the respect that we deserve out there.
Side by side, the 01 of Krutchka, the 9 of Liam Martin are going to bring him to green out of turn number 4.
Krutchka, Martin, Burbridge, Dykstra. The front 2 rows coming here to the green flag, and we are on it, and Krutchka will shoot away down into corner number 1.
Krutchka leads down on the bottom. Liam Martin up top. right up against the wall. They're going to drag race down the back straightaway and race wheel to wheel through 3 and 4.
Martin off the corner. He'll take the lead over Krutchka. Then it's Dykstra and Porter back in the 4th spot, feeling some pressure from Sean Evans in the 87X.
Wow, Liam Martin just about caught the wall. Mikey Krutchka gave him enough room to save that race car. And here he comes to the outside. Martin leads again at the stripe.
DJ Christie, meanwhile, mid-pack. He got off track there up in 3 and 4 and gathers it back up. It's Liam Martin over Mikey Krutchka in that instant insulation. Best way betting 0-1K. And now it's Evans' turn up on the high side.
Evans gets off the racetrack, comes back on just in front of Jesse Costa. Costa had to woe that thing up. Jacob Dykstra looked like he was making a run on Mikey Krutchka, and then he started spinning the tires in turn 2 and lost some ground.
Halfway home for the Nitro 54 variety. Creative Edge car number 9 of Liam Martin as he sails it down the backstretch over Mikey Krutchka. Jacob Dykstra running a solid 3rd. Holly Porter up to the 4th spot to the inside of Sean Evans. Good fight going on there.
Good battle at the very back, too, between Dave McKnight and John Burbridge. McKnight down on the bottom of the racetrack, Burbridge up on the high side in that 21, and they continue to battle side by side as it's 2 to go for race leader Liam Martin.
Here's that battle we're watching between Sean Evans and Holly Porter. Evans rolls the top. He'll take the spot over Porter in the GSR number 1. Porter, though, back down to the inside line. They go at it off of corner 2.
White flag is out over the field. Krutchka and Dykstra, that battle is getting a little bit closer as well for the 2nd spot. Oh, Liam Martin off the end of the racetrack, but he's got such a lead, he'll keep the win. Sorry, Greg.
No problem. Mikey Krutchka 2nd, 3rd was Dykstra. 4th at the line, Evans. 5th will be Porter. 6th is Costa. Then it's Christie, McKnight Jr., and John Burbridge Jr. rounding out the field.
Some good battles in that one. Some respect shown, and that's what we want to see. And now it's time for our first No, it's not. We got another sprint car heat.
Almost.
What's the matter with me?
Almost. One more heat to go here tonight, and it is for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising 360 Sprint Cars. Starting on the pole, and I'm not getting this wrong, in the 14H out of Dunnville, Ryan Turner. Ryan Turner on the pole. To his outside, from Charing Cross on the 9B, it's Scott Burke. Going from 3rd from Wilsonville in the 94X, it's Scott Hall. And starting in 4th out of Lewiston, New York, the 81, Derek Jonathan. Starting in 5th from Ohsweken, the 68 of Aaron Turkey. And starting in 6th from Brantford, downtown Mitch Brown in car number 10. Going from 7th out of Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. And starting in 8th from Grimsby, car number 90, Travis Cunningham.
What a way to start the long weekend. A full field of sprint cars, a full field of late models, a full field of Thunderstocks, and a smattering of vintage cars.
And did confirm over in the pit area that is Scott Hall of Micro Sprint success that we know. And he got a lot of airtime last week, but that is the Scott Hall that I thought it was, and good to see him here in the 360s.
Absolutely.
Talented young driver and getting his feet wet here.
Looks like he's going to go to the back of this qualifying heat. He was slated to start in the middle of the group, and I think wisely.
Yep.
Everyone qualifies. No need to put yourself in a bad position. Just keep on learning, keep getting some seat time.
Well, going to be interesting to see what Ryan Turner can do from the pole in the Hoopinen 14H. And Ryan, the point leader, coming into tonight, 1 point over Corey Turner.
And we'll need to find out how temporary or permanent this solution is with Ryan Turner in the 14H. So we'll task Clinton Jeffrey to find that out for us before the feature event tonight, if he can.
Well, how cool is it that Hoopinen, who loves to race here, will give it up to keep Ryan on top of the points? A great gesture by a sportsmanship driver.
That's for sure. As soon as I heard the news, I thought that was cool of Jim to do that, because you know how much he loves to race. And keeping Ryan in the points. Here he is in the lead.
So Turner jumps out to that lead. Aaron Turkey in second. Derek Jonathan holding down third. Then they're going wild for the 4th spot. Mitch Brown with a big run to the inside.
Yeah, Brown's rolling the bottom. Caution flag comes out as we got Scott Hall stopped the outside of corner number 4.
Hey, yo.
I thought we were going to go.
We can't.
You're so good at that, though. Gets me every time.
There's some things that they're undeniable. Like, you think we could have a Hulk Hogan racing and not say, what you gonna do, brother? Can't happen.
There's the sun. Right in our eyes.
Yeah.
Went to the Ticats game last night, and for much of the first half, this is what I saw was the sun in my eyes.
Let's talk about this. So we're in Saskatchewan on Wednesday. Adam says to the crowd, live crowd there, "Hey, Clint, are you the biggest Ticat fan? Didn't you grow up right beside Iverwin Stadium?"
I mean, half
and
the
I'm like,
crowd's wearing
"Adam, you're going to
green."
get me killed. They're all Rough Rider fans there." And I'm like, I might have grown up on Beechwood Avenue, but you don't have to tell everybody in Saskatchewan that.
Yeah, everybody there bleeds green, I think. Like the entire province.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're surrounded by every jersey in the province. I was like, hey, don't you love the Ticats?
Here we go, back to the green flag. Single file past the cone. Aaron Turkey following Ryan Turner down into corner number 1.
Turkey running a little higher in the corner than was Ryan Turner. Derek Jonathan way up on the outside with Mitch Brown digging the bottom.
It's been all Ryan Turner so far. As you say there, Adam, there's Mitch Brown and Derek Jonathan at it. Good to see Derek having a good solid run here up in that 4th spot, car 81.
The line that Ryan Turner's running actually reminds me of the line Mikey Krutschke used to win a couple of weeks ago. It's not really the bottom, it's not really the middle. It's somewhere in between there. You just carry a lot of speed, and it's an efficient way to get around the racetrack.
Through 3 and 4 this time by, it will be halfway home. 4 and 4 to go for Ryan Turner in the 14H. Then it's Aaron Turkey second. Mitch Brown, he moves upstairs in that 3rd spot. Derek Jonathan, he's in 4th. Bailey Hurd running in 5th.
Yeah, Hurd in that yellow number 70 doing a nice job out there in the 5th position at the front. Aaron Turkey about 10 car lengths behind Ryan Turner. Not making up a whole lot of ground. Turner went a little bit lower that time, but the yellow flag flies. We got Scott Burke around in 3 and 4.
Bailey Hurd had a wild time by the start-finish line this time by as he scuffed the wall.
He's another one I should have mentioned with the young talent. I mean, 5-6 drivers. Jacob Brown as well. And then some veterans and some really in the middle. Like, what would you call Aaron Turkey? I guess he's a young lion. Then you got the middle of Mitch Brown.
Mitch is like a veteran now, which is hard to believe.
Ryan Turner, Corey Turner.
Derek Jonathan's like the old guard in this heat.
Guys, just a quick turnaround here for Scott Burke. He'll get the 9B pushed off. No harm, no foul, but he'll be restarting at the tail.
I wonder how old Mike Lauterborn was when he was coming up here and whipping tail.
Wow.
Same with Rick Wilson.
There's a name I'd forgotten about.
Had to be well into their 50s.
Wow.
Always had Woody Woodpecker on the race car.
Yeah. I don't know if Rick was that old when he was coming.
Near the end, still successful. You may be wrong. Or you may be right. I may be wrong.
Sing it.
Yeah. Like Billy Joel?
Do it.
You may be right. I may be crazy. But it just may be a lunatic you're looking for.
Help me, Clint.
Help me, Rhonda. Help.
I got to give a shout out to our buddy Dave Stiers. I know he's tuned in tonight. He's under an alias, but hi, Dave. We miss you, buddy.
Well, guys, Scott Burke has chosen to just go back to the pits. He'll get the shove up over turn 3, and we'll be ready to go here white this time. Actually, Doug says white's out. We're going this time.
Why not? They're all ready.
So back at it with 3 laps left to go. Turner, Turkey, and Brown, the top 3 single file past the restart cone.
Travis Cunningham will want to take advantage of this second life. He was nowhere near being able to make a move as Aaron Turkey squeezes between Ryan Turner and the outside wall on the backstretch.
Wow, here comes Turkey, but 2 to go. Grabs the lead away. Here comes Mitch Brown now digging on the bottom of the 14H as well.
Ryan Turner really hadn't explored the high side of the racetrack. He'd been working around the middle to the bottom. So now that Aaron Turkey goes around, he'll adjust his line, but he might be out of time as the white flag flies. 1 lap to go.
Solid night here tonight for the GSR cars. Braden Cooley picked up a heat race win tonight. Looks like Aaron Turkey may do it.
Turkey works through 3 and 4 the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Aaron Turkey for the win. Ryan Turner, Mitch Brown, Derek, Jonathan Bailey Hurd, Travis Cunningham, and Scott Shaw.
And just like that, we're done with heat race qualifying for the night. So I think we've got 1 B-main on deck, then intermission, and then the other B-main.
You know, Clint, if we get a chance, we should talk to Derek Jonathan or even David Stolzenberg and sort of ask, for the benefit of other racers who might want to come up and relive the old days, what the border is like these days. Because it's quite possible the border is a lot easier to get across, because I don't know how many people are really traveling it.
Good point. We'll endeavor to get those answers for you, Adam. Great to have them over here with us, though. I know Dave Stolzenberg's been trying to get over here for a long time. Used to live in St. Catharines, moved back to Wilson, New York, but he loves it up here. Good to see Big Dave. And, yeah, always Derek. Derek's been coming up, so it can't be too tough lately.
No, for sure. And I'm sure there's a lot of people interested to know that haven't come anywhere near the border. So let's give you this lineup. Casey Huffman on the pole in the number 13, Devin Bacher in the 3, Frank Turkey in the 38, Mike Thorne in the 55, Adam Plazik in the 41, the 13.5 of Brian General scheduled to roll off 6th, Christopher Hale in the 79, Blake Bomberry Jr. in the 24, Kevin Kokrick in the 7K, Gord Grant in the 13G, Doug May in the 23M, and Jamie Googe in the 76.
Here they go, down in the corner, Devin Bacher. He needs a good run here. He's been having some car problems here over the last few weeks, and he can get it done in that 3 machine if that thing will run properly for him. Here he is out in front over Casey Huffman.
Slides up in front of Hoffman out of turn number 4, and boy, oh boy, that's close quarters racing for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
So it's Bacher, Huffman, Bomberry, and Hale.
That was a nice move by Bomberry. He was on the outside of Casey Huffman. Things got a little tumultuous there.
Oh, hard hit by Frank Turkey there. So that'll put us under the caution flag as there's a lot of fluid on the racetrack there.
Radiator punched out of the 13 of Huffman, and I would imagine possibly the same thing for Turkey up on the outside there. He's going to drive away. Don't see if there was a puddle of water or not. But that was a hard hit nose to nose in turn 3.
Well, guys, the whole rad has let go here out of the Huffman shed at day 13. It is running down the speedway here, and these drivers will have to work their way through it. It is going to leave a bit of a wet spot here right in the middle of turn number 3 and 4.
That's quite a fire suit he wears. So let's look at this replay. Huffman down into the corner, and that car just... Nose-to-nose contact between Turkey and Huffman. Not sure what sent him around there. We talk about Casey Huffman now and again. He's a driver who has improved so very much in that 13 machine.
Yeah, he really has, and this year it hasn't been that he's had to go to the B-main as often. Definitely having a solid year in that shed in a day number 13. And boy, you're right, that fire suit, that thing's got to glow in the dark, doesn't it? It's bright now.
That's pretty cool. I think that's our first Mighty Wipes moment of the night, would be Casey Huffman sitting there watching the 38 barrel into the corner.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's watch that one again. From the back stretch this time. Goes around right in front of Adam Plazik, and
Turkey had the right idea. Turning to the right was the right idea, because you're not going to get there. You're not going to make the turn going left. Just didn't quite turn to the right far enough.
50-50, it's $760 so far.
Get this. Saskatoon, Wednesday night. Not a bad crowd, Greg, not a huge crowd, but the 50-50 was $4,000. Now, when they announced it, they announced the total, so it's a little misleading. They announced an $8,000 50-50, where we only announced the winner's share. But still, a $4,000 50-50 draw, that was pretty wild.
Tommy is listening tonight. Jesse Costa did have his own 360 sprint. My memory did serve me. He blew it up in spectacular fashion while running very well in a World of Outlaws B-main one night. And then switched to the crate sprints when that division came along.
And that was a great option for a lot of people. While we've got a moment, let's also wish a happy birthday to Tom Cole. Happy birthday, of course, to Melissa Miller. Her birthday present was not having to run the Consi tonight. Qualified straight into the feature from the heat. White flag for Devin Bacher in the 3. Blake Bombury Jr. will start alongside in the 24.
Got to welcome Joe and Kate Meyer. And boys, their first time here to watch. And unfortunately, they would like to come and cheer the Iceman Johnny Miller on tonight, but he's not racing. But got to give a shout out to Joe and Kate Meyer and the boys. First time here.
So all 8 cars on the racetrack going to qualify for the feature event. 8 cars scheduled to go from this. So good for Jamie Googe. He's going to get some more track time.
Is that why Doug opened the window? I thought he was taking an order, a food order. It's like a drive-through over here.
I didn't get dinner tonight.
Well, he had Burger Barn last night, so I thought maybe he had connections. But I guess not.
Yeah, wasn't that something?
Here we go. Hale down to the inside of Bacher. It's Bombury out in front. Some good close racing. Everyone's going to transfer, but they're still going at it.
Ooh, Christopher Hale sliding up the racetrack. They're too wide outside of him as something goes for a run. I think it's just a mud plug out of a wheel. Yeah, I believe the right front mud. Oh, could be Bacher's right front.
So it's Bombury out in front over Hale, Plazik, Bacher. Kokrick back there in the 5th spot. Halfway home in this one.
Halfway through with Blake Bombury out in front. Good to see Devin Bacher fighting back. He led earlier on, dropped back to the 4th spot, but he's getting some good laps out there battling with Christopher Hale and Adam Plazik.
Plazik working that outside on Christopher Hale. And that 79 machine, we expect him each and every night to be one of those cars that's down on the concrete and contending for wins, but just the way the heat's lined up tonight, he didn't get in through the fast car heat, that 3rd heat.
You know, and this doesn't affect his starting spot by that much.
No.
You know, he would have started around 16th or 17th. Instead, he'll start 19th or 20th.
It's got to make you cringe, though, when you know you've got a car on a nightly basis that can compete, and yet you've got to run that B-main because anything can happen.
Jamie Googe pulls off the racetrack, and that's 76, and it'll be white flag this time for Blake Bombury Jr. Can he hold off Christopher Hale?
One more time around for the Nitro 54 variety, number 24, Blake Bombury Jr. Christopher Hale digging down on the bottom there, around the blocks, down the back stretch they go one more time.
4 car lengths between the leader and Christopher Hale in second. Hale with a bad push there going into turn number 3. That'll ruin his chances. Blake Bombury going to take the win over Hale. Devin Bacher going to finish 3rd. Adam Plazik 4th. Kevin Kokrick 5th in the 7K. Coming home 6th. You can do it. Gord Grant in the 13G. Doug May in the 23M. And Jamie Googe scored in the 8th spot. He will roll off dead last, but he will race in tonight's Thunderstock feature event.
So there is one other B-main, but that will come after a brief intermission here. So we'll take a quick break here on G-Force TV and be back here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Oh, Dave Bailey just messaged me to say they're only taking 4, but Doug Leonard was the one who told me they were taking 8. I'm going to believe Dave Bailey.
And now, commercial break on G-Force TV.
Sorry about that, Greg.
This Friday, June 17th at Ohsweken Speedway. The sprint cars roar back into town as Case IH and O'Neill's Farm Equipment present a full card of Friday night excitement. After a week off, the Cool Kids Core Pack 360s and the Strickland Chevrolet Crate Sprints are joined by the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks and the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. And for the first time in over 10 years, it's spectator one-on-one races at intermission. It's fans versus fans in their own street cars for $500. Adult admission is $20, students and seniors $15, and kids 12 and under are free. Friday nights were made for speed at Ohsweken Speedway.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Back live on G-Force TV at Ohsweken Speedway for Club 54 night, Friday night excitement. Let's go down to Quick Wick Victory Lane. Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Standing by with Braden Cooley. Braden, yeah, you know, you're here in Quick Wick Victory Lane as a Top Gun. That's the first step you need to be here at the end of the night when you pick up the big money. What does it mean to be the Top Gun Award winner here tonight? Pick up $150 and basically win qualifying here at Ohsweken.
Pretty much just shows that you got good car speed at the start of the night, but unfortunately drew the 8, so we'll be starting 8 in the finals. So got a bit of work to do, but regardless, we've got a fast race car. We've been busting our butts for the last few weeks. We've been struggling a lot. So yeah, Steve and the whole GSR team have been working hard, and I think we've found something, so hopefully we can prove it in the final.
Braden, let's talk about, first off, what's the biggest difference racing in Canada versus racing where you were down under?
It's really just the conditions. Back home we race, when I race 410s, there's a lot of moisture in the track, so you're pretty much just going flat out. Over here you need good throttle control and you're set up pretty spot on to get up the front, so it's been quite a learning curve.
Now, not only have you had to learn to drive over here and race against new competitors, you've had to learn how to live in Canada. How's the culture shock of moving to a new country and just figuring your way around been?
Yeah, I'm still saying g'day, mate, a fair bit, and people get confused. But apart from that, yeah, getting there. It's pretty cool. Everyone's been so nice and lovely to me and the family. And, just can't thank everyone else enough for having us here. It's been really cool.
I'll screw it up. Tell the fans where you're from one last time.
Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia.
How about it from down under? Braden Cooley, our top gun here tonight. Braden, congrats. He'll pick up the Nathan Ackland Insurance $150 bonus for the top gun. That means he passed the most cars in qualifying, and there's our passing points, top gun. Back to you, Greg.
And if you're looking for some insurance needs, you can check out Ackland Insurance on King George Road in Brantford. They are a Desjardins insurance broker, and Nathan can get you hooked up, and they do a fantastic work. Great staff in there at Ackland Insurance, of which I'm a customer. Not just pull out a commercial here. Ackland Insurance can take care of all your needs, whether it's your home, personal health insurance, car insurance, whatever you need, Ackland Insurance can take care of you. So make sure you check them out for all your insurance needs. And, hey, tell them you're an Ohsweken Speedway fan when you go in there. All right, we do have a few more fan appreciation numbers. We're going to run through the ones that we just announced here. And, again, we have about 15 minutes until you can claim these prizes. Adult ticket 13967, 13967. Senior youth ticket 13744, 13744. Children's ticket 14793, 14793. And a season pass 572428, 572428. Again, if you have any of those numbers, please make your way down to the main entryway to claim your prize in the next 15 minutes. As we look ahead to some of the events coming up here at the Big O in the next few coming weeks, we've got obviously the big events we'll talk about in a minute. But next week, Strickland's, where are we here? Renway Energy. Renway Energy presents Kids Race, Canadian National Autism Foundation Night, and it's Christmas in August. We just had Halloween in July now. Why not have Christmas in August? That's next Friday night on August the 5th. Make sure you join us. All of our 4 regular divisions are on the card. $1,000 to win for the mini stocks. We'll have the 360s, crate sprints, Thunderstocks, and mini stocks. And then on Friday, August the 12th, Gibbs Action Sports presents the Brock Leonard Memorial for the Thunderstocks. It's a duel on the dirt combined race plus sportsman modified. We'll have the crate sprint, sportsman, Thunderstocks, mini stocks, 360s will be off that night in preparation for the 2 big dates that we're all looking forward to. Monday, August the 15th, will kick things off with Burger Barn presenting the 17th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. $10,000 to win for the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series, plus the Action Sprint Tour and the Quick Wick NASCAR Pinty Series Hot Lap Challenge. So we'll have the 360s crate sprints and the NASCAR Pinty Series on the Monday night. And then on Tuesday night, Pinty's Delicious Foods presents $25,000 to win in the Pinty's 100, the first time ever for the NASCAR Pinty Series on dirt, plus the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprints and Action Sprint Tour. That will be Monday, August 15th, and Tuesday, August the 16th. You can go to OhswekenSpeedway.com and click on the link for tickets there, or go to NPSOnDirt.com, and you can get your tickets, your camping, and everything booked and ready as the big party is set to go here at the Big O on Monday, August 15th, and Tuesday, August the 16th. And we should make mention that Wednesday is the rain date for the Tuesday, should we need it, and the Friday, August the 19th, will be a week off. So that will be one you can mark on your calendars, as we won't be racing on August the 19th, the Friday night. So the season quickly wrapping up, and in fact, there will only be a few nights after that big 2-day show, and that will lead us in, of course, to our Canadian Sprint Car Nationals at the end of September as well. Always a great night. Great 2 nights of racing here, and lots of money on the line for the 360 sprints. So the B-main for the sprints, I'm not sure as though they're going to have that or not, but nonetheless, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here on GeForce TV.
This Friday, June 17th at Ohsweken Speedway. The sprint cars roar back into town as Case IH and O'Neill's Farm Equipment present a full card of Friday night excitement. After a week off, the Cool Kids Core Pack 360s and the Strickland Chevrolet Crate Sprints are joined by the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks and the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. And for the first time in over 10 years, it's spectator one-on-one races at intermission. It's fans versus fans in their own street cars for $500. Adult admission is $20, students and seniors $15, and kids 12 and under are free. Friday nights were made for speed at Ohsweken Speedway.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it. And the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing it. That's my forte.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway on G-Force TV, Club 54 presenting Friday Night Excitement as we see the Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour lining up over in the pit area. Their feature set to go, and tonight they will run 12 laps in their feature. Thunderstocks will be 20 laps. Late models 30, and the 360 sprints will be 20 laps this evening.
What do you got planned for the long weekend, Greg Callan?
Not what you do. Yeah, I meant to mention that, actually. You guys are headed to the APC race at Sauble tomorrow night. I finally got to go to Sauble last year, and a fantastic facility. If you want to see a great race live and in person up at the beach, you can do so tomorrow night, or you can tune in to G-Force TV. It's going to be a good one.
Drive up the highway, leave early, leave at about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, visit the beautiful beach up there, then go watch a night at the races. It's just got a different feel than anything else you will experience. And I didn't think we were going to run a B-main for the sprint cars, but it would appear that we are. So the B-main is on the track.
The scheduled lineup will look like this. Scheduled to go from the pole, but he'll more than likely start at the tail. The 94X from Wilsonville, Scott Hall, to his outside from Beachville, car number 5, DJ Christie. Starting in third from Brampton, the 70mm, Dave McKnight Jr., and going from fourth from Caister Center, car 11, Jamie Turner. Scheduled to go from fifth from Charing Cross, the 9B is Scott Burke. And from the sixth spot from St. Catharines, the 46, Kevin Pauls. Starting seventh from St. Williams, the 21 of John Burbridge Jr., and he does make it out for the B-main. Josh Hansen from Beamsville in the 88H. He'll start in the 8th spot. 6 cars to transfer here in this B-main. Oh, Josh Hansen to the pit area.
Boy, that's a bummer.
Just having a quick look. Third place in points coming into tonight for Josh Hansen, so this is not the night he needed. Nights like this break a championship hope.
They really do. You know, the season is only so long. You can afford a weak finish, but to afford a do not start, that's a killer. Scott Hall going to take his starting spot at the front of the field alongside DJ Christie.
And right now, 6 cars make the call, so at this point, everyone would make it. With Hansen pulling off.
Just survived. That's the name of the game.
Scott Burke, the other car that did not make the call. And Scott Hall goes from the pole. DJ Christie shoots to the outside of him and will take the lead in the quick fire starter car number 5.
Scott Hall did a nice job down into 1 and 2. He held a line. He's not as fast as the other drivers out there, but a smooth, predictable line is all they can ask for.
Dave McKnight Jr. slow at the back there.
He got all crossed up in turn number 4, narrowly avoided John Burbridge Jr. coming through. And the battle is on for the third spot between Scott Hall and Kevin Pauls. Kevin going to take that position.
It's all DJ Christie out in front over Jamie Turner in the Charlie B. Honeyburger Barn number 11.
If we have a moment to watch this, these are drivers, again, we talk about it, need the track time. So for Kevin Pauls to be out there and be able to battle with Scott Hall and not have to think about who's coming lightning speed behind them, they can really work on their racecraft and play around out there. John Burbridge Jr., he's got quite a bit of experience, but he can still cherish this time to work that 21 machine, different lines on the racetrack, and see what it's capable of.
Halfway home for DJ Christie as he is set sail running that outside line to perfection. The Quick fire starter Castrol Edge number 5.
Jamie Turner holds on to second, but the battle continues for third. Scott Hall makes the move to the inside of Kevin Pauls. John Burbridge Jr. right behind them. It's a 3-car battle for third, fourth, and fifth.
And Scott Hall working down that inside line, getting some valuable laps right now in that 94X right behind Kevin Pauls. And there's John Burbridge Jr. right behind them.
Kevin Pauls has spent a lot of time the last few seasons paying his dues in that 46, learning the craft. The nice thing about running a 360 sprint car is more often than not you get to race in the feature. He could be running a crate sprint, but quite often you would miss the feature if you're not up to speed.
Checkers out. DJ Christie gets the B-main win over Jamie Turner, and then we'll see who'll grab the third spot. Right now it's Kevin Pauls as he works it off of corner 4. Pauls will take the spot over Scott Hall, John Burbridge Jr., and Dave McKnight Jr. All will transfer into tonight's A-main event.
Good, clean B-main event, and that is going to make way for the feature for our vintage dirt modifieds. The Ohsweken Speedway pace truck from Strickland's GMC in Brantford, making its way to turn number 4. It's going to pace the field, and here's how they're scheduled to line up. On the pole from Napanee, the 28G is Greg Hale. On the outside of row number 1 from Dresden, Ontario, it's 51, Bill Profoda. Starting third in the 01 from Trenton, Brandon Gregory. And alongside him in the 40, the Ovid Dwaran lookalike car from Kingston, Ontario, it's Tim Haggerty. Starting in 5th, third row on the inside, she's no stranger to Ohsweken Speedway from Vanessa, Ontario, it's Hannah Farrell in the 48. To her outside in the 99, from Niagara Falls, it's Andy Imbo. Starting in 7th, driving the number 43 from Fort Erie, it's Flash, Doug Gordon. Alongside him in the 07 from Hamilton, it's Mark Shadwell. Final row on the inside. The number 2 from Port Colborne is Bill Montreuil. And rounding out the field, the number 16 from Dunnville, it's Randy Ferguson. 10 cars expected to line up for this one. 10 cars have shown up on the racetrack.
12 laps. Scheduled distance here for the Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour. Hale will go from the pole in that Draper Doors 28 machine behind the Strickland pace truck.
Bodies on these cars from the 1980s all the way back to the 1950s, when they raced coupes and coaches. Of course, Hannah Farrell, I believe, is the most modern of the body styles, and that would be early 80s, wouldn't you say, Greg?
Yeah, that's what I grew up watching right there.
Yep.
All right, here we go, set to rumble. The Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour takes the green flag, and we are on it. 12 laps the distance.
Clean start down into turn number 1.
Hale out in front, Gregory in tow. Profoda right now in that third position. The orange number 51. He'll work to the outside of Gregory and take the second spot at the line.
Wow, just about came down the racetrack and took Gregory with him there, but a great battle for the second spot. Profoda trying to clear the Gregory 01. Gregory's having none of it. He sails it down into turn 3, sliding both of them up the track. Here comes Doug Gordon in the blue 43. Uh-oh.
Leader Hale had a handful all the way up in corner number 4 and finally comes to a rest in the infield in that 28G. So the pole sitter parks it and the caution flag will come out.
When we look at this replay, watch how close Hale was to overcorrecting and spinning to the right. That would have been disaster here on the front stretch.
Gregory will assume the lead, and we'll see. You can have a look at that one as Hale had a handful through corner number 4, and you're right, he could have corrected to the right and collected most of the field. Here it is.
So he's coming out still out that
right there.
That was the one right there. It's like, oh, don't. And he didn't. These cars, the suspension on these cars will whip you back. So you get them loose, they'll hang out loose, but as soon as they snap back, it's very hard to keep them from spinning out the wrong way.
Had some good looks at that from all angles.
Gregory on the inside in the 0-1, Profoda on the outside.
3 wide in the second row.
Sure. Andy Imbo down low. Shadwell in the middle. Up high, it's Flash Gordon. Looks like Imbo is going to drop back to 5th. Hannah Farrell in 6th in that 48.
Back to the green we go. Gregory and Profoda go down into corner number 1. Shadwell and that 43 machine of Gordon back in that second row.
Tight pack. Profoda gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2. He'll come down to run the middle of the racetrack. That leaves the bottom open for Shadwell in the 0-7.
Gregory leads the lap over Profoda.
Forget about holding off Shadwell for second. Profoda heading to the lead on the outside. He's got Flash Gordon right behind him. What a battle in these vintage dirt modifieds.
6-car breakaway at the front right now. It's Gregory on the bottom, but Profoda on the outside is going to edge ahead and be the leader at the line, I believe, this time. Yes, he will, over Gordon. Gregory shuffled back a ways.
Yeah, Gregory had to take evasive action from Flash Gordon there. Gordon had his eyes set forward. He's going to make the pass on Profoda down the back straightaway. Andy Imbo up on the outside. Oh, Hannah Farrell gets in a little bit hot. She's going to go around in the 48.
Good job by Shadwell to get around her and not get collected in that one. And that will put us back under the caution flag.
Whew. That's some good racing.
Yeah, they're going at it. This isn't show car night.
No, they're racing hard out there. And Hannah Farrell just sailed it down into the corner. Watch how much farther she goes into the turn than anybody else. And I think nowhere to go. Had she maintained that speed, oh, look at this.
Ooh, good move by Shadwell there to get around.
Abby does a fantastic job as we hear Doug Leonard melting down in the next room. The vintage cars run everything vintage. No one-way radios for the drivers. And we're just in an era where it's unacceptable the way you have to organize a starting lineup without one-way radios.
And it's not expensive.
No. Of course, neither are transponders are expensive, but the tracks have them. So Andy Imbo's been given instructions. He will start on the outside of row number 1 with Flash Gordon on the inside in the 43. Of course, Profoda, if he doesn't have a one-way radio, would not have got the message that Andy Imbo should be out there in front, but it looks like everybody has settled into their spots.
Five to go, I believe, is what I just heard Doug Leonard say. So here we come to the green flag. Imbo on the outside will dart ahead of the 43 of Gordon. But now they're wheel to wheel off that second corner, 3 deep behind them.
Oh, Bravoda just about lost the front end of that 51 machine. Look how good Doug Gordon looks down low. Just gets the back end hanging out just as far as he wants it and able to chase it all the way around the corner.
Imbo on the outside, Gordon on the bottom. Again, wheel to wheel off that second corner. Gregory trying to get back up there and challenge for the lead after getting shuffled back in that last green flag run.
Andy Imbo drives it down into the corner a little bit deeper than Doug Gordon, but he gets two sideways coming off the turn, and that's where Gordon gathers that track position back. See, they'll run side by side off of turn number 2. Two different lines, but accomplishing almost the same thing.
Great battle up front. Imbo on that outside line, as you say. Gordon on the bottom at the line that time. Well, there's no transponders to look at, but it looked like Imbo just barely ahead.
Down the back straightaway, same thing. Imbo will clear Flash Gordon just before what would be the midpoint of the backstretch. Let's see how it works on the front stretch. Flash Gordon with a good run off of turn number 4, and same thing just before the midway point of the front stretch. Andy Imbo rotates past.
It's going to be a photo finish, I think, the way they're going at it. Chadwell reeling them in now, becoming a 3-car race as Gregory fades a bit.
2 laps to go, twice more around. Doug Gordon going to see it first. Andy Imbo trying to claw back on the outside. He trails by about 3 car lengths as they race through 1 and 2.
Down the back stretch they go. It's Gordon, Imbo, and Chadwell. Chadwell's down to the bottom of that 99 machine, who's given up some ground on the outside, but a little loose the last time around. And here we go. White flag is out. Gordon setting up for the win.
Andy Imbo not holding back. He tagged the outside wall there off at turn number 4. White flag is out. It's Gordon by 5 car lengths.
Final time through 3 and 4. Chadwell and Imbo are going to close the gap, but as they work it off of 4, Flash Gordon will come to the win over Chadwell second. Then it was Imbo third. Gregory will grab the 4th spot. And it was... Bill Montreal in the number 2 machine. In the 5th position. So good battle up front, and it's Doug Gordon going to victory lane. Quick fire starter victory lane.
And I wonder how many of these races Doug Gordon has won, Clinton. It might have been a little while since he's been to victory lane. He doesn't know how to get there.
Looks like we'll talk to Andy Imbo as well. And Chadwell will make his way around as well. Fang and Claw are back after a minor incident last week.
Minor incident? It was 150 degrees inside those suits.
There was that too. Thunderstocks will be up next. Then the late models, and we'll conclude tonight with the 360 sprint cars as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky as we get ready to talk with our Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour top 3 here tonight at the Big O on GeForce TV. Love that drone shot right in the fireworks.
I think he's trying to blow up the drone.
All right, down there in Quick victory lane, Flash Gordon gets the helmet off, and we'll send it down there. In just a moment to talk with him will be our Clinton Jeffrey, and
he needs to wait till the microphone's in there.
All right, Doug says it's going to take him 10 minutes to get out. So while he works his stuff off, you're going to have to get out and get your picture taken anyways, Flash. So you might as well jump out of here. Doug Gordon, we seen his team here with his son Todd wrecking their car about a month ago on the front straightaway, and it was just a crazy wreck. And Doug will work his way out here now. We'll get him out here and get a quick picture and a talk with him. We'll also talk to Mark Chadwell and Andy Imbo.
I think that was his way of telling you he didn't want you to watch him climb out of the race car.
I know, well, Spencer will have to go the other way. Mark, come on around here. We'll talk to you quickly while Doug gets out. Mark, welcome back here. Pretty cool to get you guys back here.
Yeah, thanks for bringing us back.
Great drive tonight.
Yeah, last time we were here, we won. I hugged the bottom. This time I was hugging the bottom for too long, and when I pulled up, that's when I started making some time.
Well, right on. Mark Shadwell will finish second. Doug Gordon works his way out of the car here, and we'll get him over here. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big Ohsweken Speedway? Quick victory lane welcome for our vintage car winner, Doug Gordon.
He needs a beer.
Oh, Flash definitely needs a beer. Flash is one of my drinking buddies, I'll admit that. Right, Flash? We've shared a pop or two.
Hi, buddy.
Congratulations, Flash. What a drive here today. You know, you just get called out to drive this Kendrick car about a month ago, and you've been running pretty good in it.
Well, it's coming. They've been working hard at it. I got to thank Darren and Chief and my guys. Hey, Todd, was that a little better?
Yeah, trying to show up the boy, eh? What a drive.
Yeah, well, he said I better find a couple things I was missing in the heat.
I think you found them all.
Yeah, we did.
All right, good job, Flash Gordon. We'll get over here and talk to Andy Imbo. Andy, welcome back here. You know, you've been doing this for a while. Vintage car racing's a lot of fun. How'd you enjoy your time back here at Ohsweken?
Oh, it's excellent. I love Ohsweken. I wish we could run here every second week, but we can't, so that's the way it goes. But, yeah, the car was good. Got a little slippery at the end there, and I touched the front wall, so I don't know if that kind of screwed up something or not. But congratulations to Doug, though. He's a good buddy, and happy for him.
You're giving it all. Andy Imbo will finish third. Mark Shadwell will be second. And our winner, Doug Flash Gordon, picks up the win here tonight. That'll do it from Quick Victory Lane. We'll be right back after a quick break here live on G-Force TV. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Back live at the Big O. Tonight, Club 54 presents Friday Night Excitement. 3 features still to come. Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks lined up there on the outside line as the vintage modifieds continue to wrap up down in Victory Lane. As we continue to discuss the possibility of a start-finish line. Did they do it at Eldora for the Dirt Derby?
Yeah, we can't do anything until they do it at Eldora.
Did they do it at Knoxville?
Hey, listen.
I'm just saying they must have had a solution there, so why can't we use their solution here? Why do we need a line and be the first dirt track to have a line?
Because we have the type of racetrack that is conducive to a photo finish. No, don't do it. Don't do it. When it comes, I don't want to be the guy that says I told you so, but when it goes down, I'm going to jump up and down telling you so.
No, you're not like that, are you? Well, Thunderstocks ready to go. 20 laps for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Following them will be the Northeast Late Model Alliance with their 30-lap feature, and we'll conclude tonight with the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars with their 20-lap main event. Here's how they'll line up for the Thunderstocks tonight. On the pole from Thorold, car 11, Go Fast Teeple to his outside. From Hamilton, the 43, Kyle Andrus. Going from third out of Hagersville, the 75 is Ryan Barry. Going fourth from Lucan, Ontario, the 2M is Mark McDonald. Starting in fifth, from Jerseyville, the 53, Logan Schwedick to his outside. From Benbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. Rob Hoskins lines up seventh. He's from Harley in the 37. Melissa Miller out of Ohsweken, the 93. She'll start in eighth. Going ninth from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. To his outside, his son from Caister Center, the 28D, Donnie Lampman. 11th spot out of Hamilton, the 07 Scott McPhail. To his outside from Hagersville, the 23 of Trevor DeBoer starts 12th. Going 13th from Hagersville, the 93K, Mike Klazinga. And going 14th from Ancaster, the 19 of Kyle Word. Rod Logie lines up 15th. He's from Burlington in the 97. And in the 16th spot, Ken Sargent out of Hamilton in the 25. Starting 17th from Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett. And to his outside from Victoria, the 84 RK, Ryan Beagle. 19th starting position is where we find the point leader. He's from Hagersville, the 49 of Dave Bailey. And going 20th from Shannonville, the 26 is Craig Handley. 21st is where we find Jaron Israel from Ransomville, New York, in car number 10. 22nd out of Napanee, the 16 is Doug O'Blennis. Dave Small lines up 23rd from Port Colborne in the 7X. Todd Shaw from Chatham in the 96T goes 24th. 25th from Ohsweken, the 24, the Blake Bomberry Jr. machine. 26th, Guelph, Ontario, the 79 of Christopher Hale. Starting 27th out of Hagersville, car 3, Devin Bacher. And 28th out of Caister Center, the 41 of Adam Plazik. White flag being displayed for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. 20 laps the distance for their feature event.
That's a lot to get through.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
You nailed it.
Ryan Beagle trails by 41 points heading into tonight on Dave Bailey. So this is the point of the year. You're going to catch Dave. It's time to get on it, but that's no easy task.
Absolutely not, because there are some quick cars up at the front of this field. There's quick cars in the middle. It's all who gets through that traffic. But Go Fast Teeple going to lead the way to the green flag with Kyle Andrus on the outside. Green flag is out. We're underway.
Here they go. Teeple on the bottom side. The Beamsville Fish and Chips number 11 leads it. 3 wide behind him. Andrus in the middle. McDonald on the outside. Barry shuffles back in line. Here comes Phelan. He's been quick on the outside tonight.
He was lightning quick. I don't know what happened to him in the first couple laps of that heat, but then all of a sudden he picked up the wick and really turned it on. But look at Ryan Beagle on the high side. Go Fast Teeple going to make the turn into the pits. Dave Bailey was in the same spot on the track as Ryan Beagle last time in turn 2. Now Beagle's got about 12 cars between himself and the 49.
Well, we talked about this last week. Dave Bailey got through the field quicker, and in the end it was Bailey, and Beagle was chasing him down. Now this week, as you just pointed out, Beagle's already up there. He's in the 3rd spot, while Bailey is buried on the bottom back in corner 2.
Let's talk about Mark McDonald from Lucan. He wanted me to make that change. We call him from Corbyville because that's what's on the sheet, but he's from Lucan, he says. Led some laps out here in this one. Now he's going to fall back to 3rd behind Ryan Beagle and Tim Phelan.
3 laps in, Ryan Beagle started 18th. He's in the lead. What a drive for the 84 RK out of Victoria, Ontario.
No trickery, he just got up on the high side, passed most of his cars on the outside, then drove to the inside of Phelan in turn 2, and then did everything else up on the high side. We're used to seeing him pedal down on the bottom of a slick track. Dave Bailey has moved up the racetrack. He's going to pick off a few on the backstretch.
Yeah, shoots through the middle as Logan Schwedick has problems in the 53. He'll pull down to the infield, so his night appears to be over, as it's Ryan Beagle over Rob Hoskins and Tim Phelan. Right behind that, it's Melissa Miller, the birthday girl, having a good solid run up in 4th.
I'll tell you who else is having a nice drive is the 07 of Scott McPhail. He hasn't shown the speed we know he would like to out there this season, but tonight things seem to be working right for the 07 as he's knocking on the door of the top 5.
Yeah, he's right there. He's got Mark Fawcett right behind him, and then the point leader, Dave Bailey. who's blocked in behind McPhail and Mark Fawcett. He goes to the outside there, up against the wall in the backstretch. Now we'll look through the middle in 3.
He'll try to work the middle of Fawcett and Scott McPhail. He's got the room. He gets around McPhail. Scott McPhail holding his line on the high side.
That almost got ugly.
It almost did, and McPhail going to cross over Dave Bailey. Bailey going to work to the outside of Miller and Fawcett.
Ryan Beagle on cruise control. As much as he had to work last week, it's been easy sailing. He got the right line at the drop of the green flag in this one, and he is out in front over Rob Hoskins for the second week in a row. A very solid run in that 37. And here comes Bailey. He'll make it 3 wide down the backstretch.
Shooting the middle down into turn number 3. Bailey will clear the failing 427. Fawcett with a good run around the bottom, but not good enough to stay ahead of Dave Bailey. We look back. Christopher Hale, who had to transfer through the Consi, he's working his way towards the top 10, but not able to get there just yet. Now he'll work to the inside, 3 wide, 4 wide, however wide it takes.
10 in, 10 to go for the leader, Ryan Beagle, over Rob Hoskins, Dave Bailey, Mark Fawcett, and Tim Phelan. That's your top 5. Melissa Miller hanging in up there in the 6th spot. 7 right now is McPhail, and you've got Trevor DeBoer in the Mert Timson Auto 23. He's up there challenging in the top 10. Good to see for the 23 because he's struggled a bit this year.
Yeah, he really has. I'm watching Kyle Wirt in the 19 down in turn 3. That car's been a little evil on him the last lap or so, and there's been a lot of contact because of it. Just the car shot up the racetrack, and everyone taking evasive action. Of course, when you get a little bit of contact, drivers get a little agitated. Oh my goodness, Kenny Sargent and Donnie Lampman. I did not think there was room between them and the wall, and Scott McPhail is in trouble in the 07.
And he'll coast up to the high side in corner 3, and that will probably put us under the caution flag with 8 laps left to go. He's still rolling, but looks like we're gonna, now we'll see the yellow flag from Dave Hunsinger, and that will put us under the caution flag with, it'll either be 7 or 8 laps to go, depending on if they, I don't think they would have taken that lap because they didn't get to the start-finish line before the caution flag flew. So 8 laps left to go in this one, and Scott McPhail will need some attention up there the high side of corner 4.
Ryan Beagle was not going to be caught.
No.
He was out in front. He was setting a torrid pace in that 84, and now things are changed. As Dave Bailey has made his way through the field to run in the 2nd spot. Robert Hoskins in the 37 is 3rd. Mark Fawcett is 4th in the 32. Tim Phelan is 5th in the 427. 6th through 10th. 23 of Trevor DeBoer. The 93 of Melissa Miller, the 28 of Jim Lampman, the 28 of Donnie Lampman, the 25 of Ken Sargent. Then it's Jaron Israel in the 10, the 79 of Christopher Hale, the 19 of Kyle Wirt, the 2M of Mark McDonald.
Should mention 50-50 at $1,260, and they have about 20 minutes left to buy those tickets. So get those tickets, $1,260.
What's going on, Clint?
Well, I was just going to tell everybody that they got 20 minutes to buy 50-50 tickets, and we're at $1,260. Thanks, Greg.
You know, the other driver I'd like to hear from, even if it's on social media or maybe Tuesday we could get him on the show for a few minutes, Clint, is Jaron Israel, the driver of that 10. Someone who's been to a lot of racetracks. Obviously, he's from Ransomville, New York, so he's a Ransomville Speedway regular. Wonder how he's enjoyed racing in the pack tonight here at the Big O.
I agree. Let's do what we can to try and get a hold of him. This night's going by so fast. We haven't had much delay, but if we don't get him on, we'll invite him on to Race Chat Tuesday night.
For sure. At this point, I hope he doesn't get on the show because it'll be tough for him to pass 7 or 8 cars. Otherwise, the only way to get on tonight is by crashing, and we don't want to see that. He runs in the 11th spot out in front. Ryan Beagle is elected the high side to restart in that 84 machine. Dave Bailey, Brewster Baker restarting 2nd in the 49.
And 2 drivers behind them that have been up there challenging in the last few weeks for wins. We'll see what Rob Hoskins and Mark Fawcett have as well. Back to the green flag with 8 laps left to go. Beagle on the outside, Bailey on the bottom.
They'll race it through 1 and 2. Beagle picked up a few feet on Dave Bailey and then clears the front end of the 49 machine coming off of turn 2. Trouble on the backstretch. Kenny Sargent goes off the pace in the 25. I believe there was contact with Chris Hale in the 79.
Yeah, he's slow at the back, and he had a tire going down? No, not on this side at least, but nonetheless slow for the 25 of Sargent. Out in front, it's Ryan Beagle, Dave Bailey. Right there behind him, this is it. The 2 top drivers in this division going at it with clear track and no pressure behind.
Ryan Beagle knows he can't make any mistakes, and really the biggest mistake he can make is choosing the wrong line. We know he can drive. He's a great driver. It's whoever finds the most bite out there. So Beagle running way up high in 3 and 4, a little bit lower in 1 and 2, and Dave Bailey hasn't found the antidote just yet. Ryan Beagle has the fast way around.
5 laps left to go for Ryan Beagle, Dave Bailey, and right now Mark Fawcett rides in the 3rd spot. Rob Hoskins 4th, and again a good solid run for Trevor DeBoer as he challenges for that 4th spot on the inside of Hoskins.
Kyle Andrus just went around in the 43 last time. He was able to get the car rolling, but he's about half a straightaway in front now of Ryan Beagle, with Dave Bailey hot on Beagle's tail. Fawcett all by himself in 3rd. Rob Hoskins and Trevor DeBoer battling it out for 4th.
Here comes Bailey rolling the bottom, Clint.
Just want to mention Tim Phelan in the back, flat left run. He's dropping like a stone. He was inside the top 10, but he's fading quick.
Unfortunate break for Tim Phelan, who had a real good night. We're going to see 2 to go this time at the stripe. Ryan Beagle, we got trouble in turn 1. Melissa Miller, she was having a good run. Yeah. She was staying in the top 10 in that 93. Did Mike Glazinga make it out for the feature?
Yep, he's right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Melissa was having a great run in that Ohsweken Pharmasave 93, but is going to have to tack on to the tail of the field, and she's upset at someone.
I was going to say, how can you tell from here? But you see that on the screen. She showing some frustration on the steering wheel?
Well, she was motioning on the backstretch maybe at somebody in the stands, but she's definitely not happy, so.
Now, Mike Plazinga even told me what birthday it was, but that's not something.
No.
I'm not going there.
No bueno. We had another birthday. Oh, here it is. Ed Suley. Happy birthday today, Ed. Hope you're having a great night here.
If you're born on this day, you're born on the same day as the famous Melissa Miller, Thunderstock racer at Ohsweken Speedway. Now you know. Talked about Todd Shaw earlier on in the 96, representing the Shaw family from southwestern Ontario. Good to see him make the toe up on a long weekend and compete with us here on a Friday night. 3 laps remain. And Ryan Beagle gets on the loud pedal to get things restarted.
Yeah, just about to say, we'll see if Ryan Beagle can hold on here. Bailey shoots down to the inside. They'll drag race off the second corner. Bailey inches ahead.
Bailey works up the racetrack, limiting Ryan Beagle's options, which really didn't matter because Beagle was going to go to the extreme outside. 2 laps to go. Dave Bailey leads the way.
Beagle will try and dive it deep, I'm sure, up on that top side in corner number 1. Hold it wide open. Here he comes. Gets a great run off the second corner.
He found a new bit of real estate up there in turn 1 and 2. Could have carved it underneath Dave Bailey. Decided to stay up on the outside. That's where he's been making his moves. 1 lap to go.
Oh, here he is just on the outside, right up against the concrete. He'll sail it through corner number 1. Can he get the same run through 2? That'll be key.
Big head of steam down the back straightaway for Beagle. He squeezes to the outside of Dave Bailey. Can he pass the 49, Greg?
Here they come off of 4. Beagle's got to run. Can he do it? At the line, Beagle gets it done.
Half a car length over Dave Bailey. Nothing I like more than seeing the crowd with their hands in the air cheering over a good, hard-fought, clean race, and that's what we just saw.
These 2 drivers have so much respect for one another, and that race we just saw showed you just that. good clean racing. Dave left him some room there a couple of times, and Ryan, he found something, and you said it there in that second to last lap, and he made it work in the final time around. And lost in all that, Mark Fawcett back on the podium again.
Yeah, solid run. I mean, it's going to be tough for Ryan Beagle to make up a 41-point deficit, winning races with Dave Bailey finishing second. But let's have a look at the replay through 3 and 4 the final time. Beagle gets the car pointed downhill, gets on the throttle, and wins by half a car length over Dave Bailey.
Lone Wolf Fireworks helping Ryan Beagle and team celebrate down in Quick Wick Victory Lane. Ryan picks up his second win of the season, second place in points coming into tonight. He's not going to gain a lot of ground with the point leader right behind him in second, but nonetheless, the victories matter a whole lot, and Ryan Beagle's going to celebrate here in just a moment. Mark Fawcett comes home with another very solid third place finish in the 32. He's looked strong all year, so we'll send it down trackside. Clinton Jeffrey getting ready to talk with Ryan Beagle.
Well, fans, when they came across the line, you had your hands in the air and you were cheering. Let them hear you now, the big dog. Ryan Beagle gets it done tonight in the RK84. Well, big dog, when you can take Brewster Baker down at the line like that and make the crowd stand up, you're making a lot of fans. It's always big when you can take Daly off the top step. You know, he's been the class of the field here in Ontario, but you didn't give up, and you got him, man.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. I can't believe we're doing what we're doing this season. I don't even know how I got through there that fast. The top just opened up, and I went for it, and I think we were leading by lap 3. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch that one. Greg was talking about it with Adam, that you started 18th, and by lap 3, you were up front. The seas just parted for you, big guy.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often for me, so I'll take it.
You're chasing Bailey in the points. You know, like Adam said, it's going to be tough to make up 41 markers on him with him finishing second to you.
I'm not worried about points. I try not to even look at it. It just messes with my head too much.
Right on. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Ryan Beagle picks up the win here over Dave Bailey. Well, Bailey, you know the fans like it when you lose. I got to say, you won enough races here that they were cheering big time. But what a hell of a drive by both you and Ryan. Talk about your mentality when you see him get all the way up there when you start beside him, and he's all the way at the front and you're still all the way at the back, but you make it there. Is it patience? What's going through your mind?
I don't think anybody's ever patient. Just you start back there, you just kind of got to go pick your holes. And I never even realized he was up there until I got to maybe 4th or 5th, and I'm like, oh shit, he's like gone. So those cautions made it really interesting, and that was an awesome race. That's what we're here for. We're not here to win, we're here to race, and that was a race, and that was a blast.
Selling out the tickets, Dave. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Dave Bailey gets the win here tonight. We'll move over here and talk to Mark Fawcett in just a second. Mark, what a great job. I mean, you want to be a couple steps up, but if you're ending your night on the concrete and not over in the concrete back there, that's a good night, man.
Absolutely. Starting a little farther back in the pack, so we got more traffic, and congrats to Beagle. He got on by everybody pretty quick there, so pretty pleased with the car. I'll take third and being more consistent what I'm doing, and just want to say thanks to my sponsors, SP Motorsports, Stickerette, Gales Off the Market, Quick Wick, BDI, and all the fans for coming out. Thanks, guys.
Mark Fawcett finishes third, Dave Bailey second, and tonight the winner, the big dog, Ryan Beagle, gets it done. We'll be right back here live on G-Force TV for the Northeast Late Model Alliance feature event coming up.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedway. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Back live on GeForce TV at Ohsweken Speedway. It's time for the Vanderland Building Products Northeast Late Model Alliance feature event. 30 laps. Adam Ross with a starting lineup.
Brant Graham going to start on the bowl in the number 14. He's from Orono, alongside from Picton, the 87 is Andrew Hennessy. Starting third from Port Colborne, the 19 junior is Rob Lettingham. Starting fourth from Orono, the 98 is Craig Graham. Starting fifth from Trenton, the 11 is Kyle Sopaz. Starting sixth in the number 5, also from Trenton, it's Steve Baldwin. Starting seventh from Cherry Valley, the 92 is Adam Turner. Starting eighth from Trenton, the 57 is Charlie Sandercock. Starting ninth from Niagara Falls, the 311 is Sam Panaccio. Starting 10th from Blenheim, the 00 is Jim Dale Jr. Starting 11th from Brighton, the 46 is Brandon Mowat. Starting 12th from Merlin, the 47B is Joe Brasseau. Starting 13th from Ridgeway, the 15 is Tim Gillespie. Starting 14th from Gravenhurst, the 00G is Ryan Gowdy. Starting 15th in the 55 from Codrington is Brad Rayner. Starting 16th from Blenheim, the 49 is Brett Hope. Starting 17th from Petawawa in the 01 is Eli Mayhew. Starting 18th from Brighton, the 33 is David Vandertorn. Starting 19th from Gravenhurst, the 38 is Mike Gowdy. Starting 20th in the 82, it's Ken Winfield. Starting 21st from Port Hope, the 89 is Austin King. Starting 22nd from Brighton, 73 is Nathan Rinaldi. Starting 23rd from Essex, the 38D is Doris Lajeunesse. Starting 24th from Wilson, New York, the 1S is David Stolzenberg. Rounding out the field from Brighton, the 21 is Rich Sanders. Those are the 25 starters in this late model feature event. And like you said, Greg, it is 30 laps. I think that's about the perfect length feature for dirt late models.
It definitely is. They'll put on a good show and great field of cars. Got to give a tip of the hat to this tour. They put on some great races. And we're about to see 30 laps of the Northeast Late Model Alliance. And we're going to kick this one off. The sights and sounds of the Wedged Warriors. A Quick Wick fire starter. Fire it up.
He was towards the back of the field in that 1S. I believe just got into 3 a little too hot. There's no damage. The telltale sign with these late models, the left rear bodywork really isn't that strongly supported, so if there is contact, it'll fold right up underneath.
I think it was a pretty easy spin over there in corner number 3, so that puts us under a quick caution with 1 lap on the board, 29 to go.
Folks, I'm not gonna jinx this night, but we are into our second to last feature at 9:30. I do want to remind the fans the pits are open after the race. We're not very often done here early enough for you to go back there. But if you want to go back and see these teams, most of them leave their cars out. They will be happy to talk to you, sign some autographs. I know I always enjoyed going into the pits after a race. Spencer giving his well wishes to the announcers up in the booth.
We're here till midnight now, folks. Oh, wow. Spencer got feisty there.
Yeah,
I think he's a little superstitious, maybe. He needs a Snickers. That's what Darren said. You're not you when you're hungry, Spencer. Oh, I wish the fans could listen to Spencer in our ear.
He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's impactful.
I'm just thankful when I go home at night and go to sleep, I don't still hear his voice. I hear yours, unfortunately.
It's because I live in your shed. Let me out. I want to go home. Andrew Hennessy in the 87, Brant Graham in the 14. They make up the front row. A couple of Brighton Speedway regulars pacing the field.
Here we go, back into the green flag. Brant Graham on the outside gets a good jump on Andrew Hennessy as they head down into corner number 1. Look at Charlie Sandercock trying to make some moves as well.
Rob Lettingham slides up the racetrack, slows down Craig Graham's approach. Kyle Sopaz looking to the inside, that number 11, trying to take over the 3rd spot.
Keep an eye on that white 92 of Adam Turner. He started the back in his qualifying heat, quickly moved to the front, so we got trouble off of 4. Vandertoorn down there had some problems along with Eli Mayhew. They've got the ships righted. We stay green.
Yeah, they went for a long slide there off of turn number 4. Get things sorted out. Kenny Winfield in the 82 is off the pace. In turn number 2, that bottles things up a little bit, but boy, oh boy, it's a good thing this racetrack is as wide as it is because we've got drivers all over the place. Great battle at the front. Brant Graham out in front with Andrew Hennessy digging on the bottom off of turn number 4. Who's going to lead the stripe? It continues to be Brant Graham.
Graham has the spot as right behind them it's Kyle Sopaz and Charlie Sandercock. They're going at it for that 3rd spot. Wheel to wheel for the lead. Graham on the outside, Hennessy on the bottom. They'll roll it through 3 and 4. Off the corner this time, it looks like it's going to be Hennessy, maybe. Oh, right at the line. It was Graham grabbed it back.
Adam Turner hanging on to that 5th spot. Not really closing in. Let's have a look. 19-0. Yeah, he's not really closing in on the cars ahead of him right now, but, you know, if a yellow came out, he'd be right up there in the mix. But what a battle at the front. 2 wide, 2 deep for the top 4 spots.
6 on the board in this one as we come down into corners number 2 and down the back stretch into 3. It's right now Hennessy and Graham, but lap traffic now is going to be a factor. Doris Lajeunesse right in front of the leaders.
Hennessy to the inside of Doris. Brant Graham hesitated. Here goes Charlie Sandercock. He'll pick up the 2nd spot.
And Hennessy cleared the lap car very quickly, and that allowed Charlie Sandercock to get by Graham, who did not get by very easily. And now Sopaz has sailed in for 3rd, and he's challenging Sandercock.
Kyle Sopaz working around the lap car of David Stolzenberg, right behind Charlie Sandercock. Out in front, Andrew Hennessy has extended a bit of a lead. He puts Kenny Winfield a lap down. Leads by 12 car lengths over Charlie Sandercock.
Hennessy's got a bit of a gap now before the next lap car. Vandertoorn in the 33. Sandercock will clear Winfield now, and he'll set his sights on his teammate, Andrew Hennessy. Right behind them, it's Kyle Sopaz and Brant Graham. Then a gap back to Adam Turner in the 92.
Sandercock just sails that car down into the turn on the outside. Slings it sideways, carrying a lot of speed. Andrew Hennessy not running as high on the racetrack, but he's running smoother laps than Sandercock.
One driver that's struggling here, the 5 of Steve Baldwin, has dropped through the field quite a bit, and he's back to the 14th position. Started up in 6th, and the way he ran his qualifying heat, thought he'd have a better run going, but definitely struggling in the 5.
Austin King nearly hit the end of the wall in turn 3 on the inside. David Stolzenberg with a problem. He'll peel it to the infield, but Austin King did a nice job to keep from wrecking that race car.
Oh, Vandertoorn goes around in 4, keeps the foot in the throttle, will stay green. Did a complete 360 there as the battle for the lead tightening up. It's Hennessy right in the thick of lap traffic. Charlie Sandercock will dive down the banking off a 3, and he's right there within a car length.
We're not even halfway through this 30-lap feature event. Andrew Hennessy carving his way through slower traffic. Charlie Sandercock, he's able to take advantage. He sees exactly what Hennessy's doing, and then he decides, do I want to follow the 87 or do I want to make my own path?
Hennessy working behind the Brett Hope machine. His teammate Sandercock giving chase. Sopaz still in that third spot, but he's mired behind some lap traffic. Brant Graham keeping pace with him in fourth. And then back in the fifth spot, it's Adam Turner, who's got a couple of hot shoes behind him.
Oh, trouble in turn number 4.
Gowdy and Rinaldi go around. That is Ryan Gowdy in the 00 and Anthony Rinaldi back there. Nathan Rinaldi, rather. I drew a blank. Sorry, Angie. She's going to shoot me now. I'm done. I will not be allowed in the Brighton Speedway Tower Labor Day weekend.
I'm trying to think of who Nathan Rinaldi reminds me of, but I don't think I can place it. He has grown himself a mustache. And when you watch kids grow up, Greg, you don't ever expect to see them with facial hair. Now, my kid can't grow facial hair. He hangs out with the Rinaldi boys a little bit when he gets a chance. But Nathan was excited. He talked about how he wanted to grow it out. I shake my head. Great family, though, the owners of Brighton Speedway.
I didn't get to see it. You should have taken a picture.
Guys, just want to send a shout out to this awesome car count we've got here. Talking to Mark, the tour director, how this was going to work out. He said maybe 18, 19, but they showed up with 25, and what a great show it's been so far.
And, we sometimes underestimate the power of this racetrack and how much drivers like racing on it. If you get around to different tracks, every track has character. Merrittville is fun to watch races at. Humberstone is fun to watch races at, but they're treacherous. They're narrow in spots, and they can be tricky to get around. Ohsweken is like a freeway. Not easy to be fast, but it's easy to find yourself a lane to run in and go out there and play with the race car, and not a huge risk of destroying it. You always have a chance to destroy a race car if you enter a race at any track. But there's lots of room for these drivers to navigate here.
Putting on a good show so far. Notice Craig Graham's got quite a ding there on the passenger side door. That number 98, it's caved all the way in, so he's had a bit of an excursion with someone, but running up there inside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, let's take you through. We know it's Hennessy, Sandercock, Sopaz, Graham, Adam Turner. Sixth on back, we've got Rob Lettingham in the 19, the 46 of Brandon Mowat, the 15 of Tim Gillespie, the 98 of Craig Graham, and the 00 of Jim Dale Jr. Just outside the top 10, but knocking on the door, Sam Panaccio, Austin King, Brad Rayner, Steve Baldwin, who we just talked about. 49, who I believe is Brett Hope. Then Eli Mayhew. I think no matter where these cars go to race, Charlie Sandercock has to be the pre-race favorite. He is one of the elite dirt late model racers.
And that guy in front of him, for a number of years, the elite Canadian modified driver down at Brighton Speedway and getting it done. And now since he's moved up to the late models, Andrew Hennessey's been right there step for step with Charlie and doing a great job in that 87 machine. And Andrew's one of those guys, I like to follow him on Facebook because he's vocal. He knows a lot about the sport, and sometimes he'll say things that maybe not everybody agrees with, but they're good points. And not to say he's controversial. He's just very smart in what he says, and not afraid to say the things maybe some people won't.
No, I think you're right, and he's earned his opinion. He's been around. He's paid his dues, and as you say, when he does make those points, even when they're not the popular opinion, he doesn't do it in such a way to be offensive. Just states his opinion.
Kind of that mayor figure, like the Jeff Burton. Say what needs to be said. All right, 16 laps left to go, 14 on the board for the Northeast Late Model Alliance. Let's try another quick wick, fire it up. The other one got shortened, so let's do it. Quick wick, fire starter, fire it up.
Rob Lettingham still playing with Brandon Moen out there in the 46. The two make contact. Lettingham suffers a flat left rear tire, comes to rest on the outside of turn number 4. Those two were mixing it up in the heat race as well, not playing particularly nice.
So that puts us back into the caution flag now with 14 to go. There you see the left rear down on the Blastall GR Enviro Rails number 19 Junior.
We're having a tough night with the quick fire it up. When I say tough night, I mean this race, because it's really the only one where we've used it. But we're breeding cautions.
I was going to say that it almost seems like Quick Wick is a 50-50 shot for a caution between last year and this year. Seemed like a lot of times in the APC we never got through the Quick Wick fire it ups. Send a shout out to Dean and Blake Outhouse here tonight. Dean's back behind the grandstands with the Quick Wick setup. Hopefully everybody got a chance to check that up and got your free card at the souvenir stand for your chance to try and scan your way in to 2 all access passes to the 2023 Daytona 500, courtesy of our friends at Quick Wick Fire Starter.
So I think Rob Lettingham wants to be picked up from the back end. I don't know if maybe he felt more problems than just a flat left rear, or I don't know if these cars are something you don't want to drive on a flat left rear, Clinton.
We're going to head over there and find out what's up.
Andrew Hennessy on that last restart started as early as I think you will want to start with Doug Leonard as the race director. He told the drivers from halfway between 3 and 4 till the end of the inside wall. That is the restart area, and there's a little pylon down there to mark that spot. Andrew Hennessy was a little bit before that pylon when he fired. You know, it's interesting to me, Greg, that these are Brighton Speedway regulars up here in the top 5. I would think the cars that have come over from Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, that is a more similar racetrack to Ohsweken than Brighton Speedway is.
Yeah, it just seems the Brighton guys getting it done tonight. Now, what are they all open down there, or is it a mix of? I believe it's a mix of crate and open, is it not?
I believe it's a mix, but I'd be lying if I said I was sure.
What track, guys?
Southern Ontario Motor Speedway.
It's an open track, so we have a few guys like Jim Dale Jr. and a few of the other ones that have crate motors, and a lot of them have been wanting to play more in the province, like a guy like a Steve Shaw would. So they're going to be getting that 604 in and trying to come out and have more fun. Yeah, so it is mixed, but a lot of them are crates.
There you go. Clinton Jeffrey getting the answer. 16 laps down, 14 laps remain. Rob Lettingham, the only driver in this field who is a former regular. Does Rob Pitts not have a late model anymore?
I guess not.
I thought he did, but
I don't believe we saw him at all during the last 2 years, did we?
I don't remember.
If
it was prior to lunchtime today, I don't remember.
What'd you have for lunch today?
I don't remember. No, Pitsy doesn't have a late model. There you go. We got great fans. That might be the same fellow who said, stop giving Greg a hard time, and I said, no, thank you.
What fun would that be?
Well, you stick with what you're good at.
All right, coming back to the green. 14 laps left to settle it. Andrew Hennessy on the outside. Charlie Sandercock on the bottom. Great launch by Hennessy down into one.
Yeah, Andrew Hennessy really has his launch timed well. Kyle Sopaz works to the inside, trying to make something happen down there. Brant Graham, the door opens up a little bit to the outside for him to make a move. Here's Adam Turner as well, and look at Austin King working the bottom.
Yeah, King's had a lot of work to do tonight. Started back in 21st as we're back under the caution flag. 2 cars on the back stretch.
Family reunion.
Yeah, the Gowdies back there. Mike and Ryan. Puts us back under a quick caution here. Just saying, Austin King has had a nice drive. Started 21st. He's just outside the top 5, and did he not at one point almost clean out the corner 3 wall?
He was racing behind Doris Lajeunesse and had to take evasive action, and it was close down there. Let's have a look at this replay. It'll be up towards the top of the screen. One of the Gowdies had gotten up out of the groove from the looks of it, and coming back onto the racetrack or back down into the racing groove, made contact, and lo and behold, contact is with the other Gowdy. Rob Ludingham back on track. Let's see how this shakes down. I believe he's on the same lap.
I was going to say, I don't think he's lost a lap. Still 14 to go.
He's showing his completed 15 laps, but I think that they might need to make an adjustment there. But I'm not sure.
They didn't?
Because they might have counted this lap.
Right. No, but I think the leaders had come by and taken the lap. He stopped up in corner 4 and didn't take the same lap when he'd cut his tire, so that would have put him a lap down. So that might be it. They crossed the line, then the caution flag came out when they were entering 3, and he was still up in 4. So that would put him the lap down. Here we go. We'll try it again. Hennessy. Another good launch off of corner 4 as they send it down the front stretch. Sandercock, Sopaz, Graham. Here's Mowat into the mix.
Hennessy again. He's trouble down in turn number 1. We got them around and around. Nathan Rinaldi down there. Rob Ludingham down there. Gowdy takes evasive action. Doris Lajeunesse basically spins just to avoid the melee. I don't believe anyone really hit anything.
I'm just waiting for Spencer.
Nah.
I just went on the radio and said, and here's Adam's announcer curse.
I don't think a few yellows in a late model feature comes as a huge shock.
We're going to take any chance to throw you under the bus.
It would take 4 of you to throw me.
I'm willing to give it a try. We got Darren, Daniel, Spencer.
I'm not. I don't want a hernia.
Well, we got 4 up here. Don't worry. As long as you're okay with it as the boss, we'll do it.
Oh, pitch him out.
you know Clint's
just make sure he hits more than a couple steps on the way down.
You know Clint's not going to get his hands dirty. Where's Nathan Rinaldi going?
Oh, wow. That was dirty.
Yeah. If Adam don't start behaving, I'm going to have to share his sleeping picture on the airplane. It is not pretty.
Oh, we got to see this.
You know, I was nice. He put the picture of me up yesterday, and I had one up that was just nasty, but I deleted it because I'm a good friend.
Oh, now I'm curious.
Just picture Grimace, but orange.
But orange?
Yeah, it looks like a big orange Grimace or the fluffiest pylon you've ever seen in your life. And it's coming your way, Greg.
See? You had one of those big jars of cheese puffs, didn't you?
Actually, you know what I did on the previous flight? I actually cropped it so he would look good, and I'll show you the original of that one, too.
You know, he's not wrong. I looked enormous. I am enormous. Happy birthday to John White from White's Racing at Brighton Speedway. We were down there. I was down there a couple of weeks ago for Corey White's big feature win.
Boy, that topic got changed pretty quick, didn't it? Oh, let's move on to a shout out.
You can talk about me being fat all day long. What color would you like to see? We can make jokes. If I wear orange, I'm a pumpkin. If I wear purple, I'm Grimace. Or Barney. If I wear green, it's more like Shrek.
All right.
What are you when you wear brown?
What can brown do for you?
All right.
Turd Ferguson?
Let's get back to racing. 14 laps left to go. Take 3. Sandercock got a good restart this time, but here comes Andrew Hennessy on the outside. He'll grab the lead back, heading into corner number 3, side by side behind them. Kyle Sopaz and Brant Graham, but Brant has problems through the corner.
Yeah, that car wiggled big time. That leaves them 3 wide down the front straightaway. Austin King on the inside. Brandon Mowat in the middle. Brant Graham with a nice recovery up on the outside to maintain that 5th position for now, but they're still 3 wide down into turn 3.
Andrew Hennessy pulling away from second place. Charlie Sandercock. Sopaz about the same distance back in 3rd. Then it's Adam Turner up to the 4th spot as he got by Brant Graham on that little bobble that he had. He's got Austin King and Brandon Mowat stacked up behind him.
Look at Charlie Sandercock searching for something, anything out there that he can try to get a move on Andrew Hennessy. Driving that car for all it's worth. He drove it hard down into turn number 1. Almost came across the back bumper of the Hennessy 87.
Brandon Mowat, meanwhile, makes a good power move on the outside as he pulls alongside Adam Turner. Good duke him out fight there for the 4th spot.
Yeah, Mowat looking good in the later part of this race. That car's really come to life out there. Lap traffic going to be a factor fairly soon as Kenny Winfield makes contact with the Gaudis. He comes to rest up off of turn number 4. Not sure if that'll bring a yellow or not. It should.
So that will put us under the caution with 10 laps left to go. You just got called the Great Pumpkin.
Thank you. I'm not just a pumpkin, I'm a great pumpkin. Clint sent a photo. Wow, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh my. That's not in the bathroom stall, is it?
No.
I dropped a contact.
I started a new weight loss program that my doctor supports 3 months ago. It doesn't work.
I keyed up my mic. I'm like, no, I'll just let him bury himself here.
I forget who said it to me. Like, it was years ago. We were in a kind of a group conversation talking about, you know what I'd like to try to lose weight, and someone like didn't even crack a smile. Eat a little less and walk a little more. Okay.
It used to be 10:30. I think just 3rd feature now. Everybody goes snaky.
That could be. I started off pretty punchy tonight as Sam Panaccio goes for a slide down the front stretch as everybody getting sorted out for this restart. Andrew Hennessy, he's done them well all night long. Charlie Sandercock has had a number of opportunities to figure out what he can try to do on the inside, and I'm excited to see how close Brandon Mowat can stay to these leaders now that he's up there in row number 2.
10 to go. Hennessy on the outside. He's been good on these restarts. Sandercock had a good jump last time. Here they come, pretty even off the corner. Hennessy, though, edges ahead at the line.
Sandercock knows that he's got nothing for him. He's just focused on where he can slide up behind the race leader, Andrew Hennessy. Brandon Mowat with a good restart. So is Adam Turner on the inside. 3 wide, they battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, Turner down to the inside of Sopaz. They've got Austin King in there as well, as Brandon Mowat has put himself in the 3rd spot. And I'll tell you what, he maybe has been the quicker car in the back half of this race as he's moved his way not only into the top 5, but now into a podium spot.
Andrew Hennessy continues to lead the way, changing his line just a little bit out there. Charlie Sandercock still pounding the cushion, or what little cushion there is up there. And man, is it just me, or is he coming super close to Hennessy into turn number 1 every lap?
This time by, it'll be 7 laps left to go. Hennessy down the front stretch. We'll watch them as they go into corner number 1 another time. Sandercock right there. Yeah, he is. Boy, he's like tucking the nose right under the rear skirt there of Andrew Hennessy.
He's got to have a lot of confidence that Andrew Hennessy will get into the corner as fast as he does. But it's working for Sandercock. He gets a good run off of turn number 4. Hennessy closes the door. Sandercock looks to the inside.
He'll scoot ahead just for the moment, but Hennessy will try the crossover. Gets a good launch off of 2. It'll shoot back by on the bottom side, but they've got the lap car of Doris Langenes right in front.
Sandercock up the racetrack to the outside. He's going to lead the way at the stripe with 5 laps to go.
Sandercock rolling the top side. Hennessy down to the bottom. Lap traffic. Brosseau right in front of the leaders right now as they head down into corner number 3. Sandercock had to run down a lane a little bit.
Yeah.
And here comes Hennessy.
Hennessy right around that inside wall. They'll run side by side. Now Hennessy up behind Sandercock down into turn number 1. He'll try to use Winfield as a pick.
Oh, baby. 3 wide down the backstretch as sparks fly as they go into corner 3.
I think the sparks were from Winfield's right rear tire or wheel in the wall. At the stripe, it's Charlie Sandercock by a foot.
3 laps left to go. Sandercock rolls through the middle of the track, way up the banking. Here comes Hennessy with a run down the backstretch.
Andrew Hennessy back out front in the 87. He'll drive to the bottom in 3 and 4 right around the wall. Sandercock up to the outside.
2 laps left to go. Teammates duking it out. 1 and 2 right at the front of the field. Heavy lap traffic in front. Hennessy on the bottom. Sandercock on the outside. He'll get the run this time off of 2.
Charlie Sandercock flirting with disaster with that turn 2 outside wall. Heads up the racetrack. Hennessy clinging to the middle towards the bottom.
Here they come. White flag is out. Heavy lap traffic right in front of Sandercock. He'll dive down to the inside line. Hennessy giving chase. Follows in his tire tracks.
Not a lot of room for any of them to work. Hennessy might have used a little bit of Gowdy to make the turn off of 2.
Here they come off of corner 4. Sandercock opens the bottom, but he'll take the win. Hennessy will finish 2nd. 3rd at the line is going to end up Austin King. And then it's Brandon Mowat, followed by Kyle Sopaz, completing the top 5. Another good one here tonight. And Charlie Sandercock will pick up the win in the 57 over teammate Andrew Hennessy.
Action in turn number 3. Rob Lettingham pulling up along Brandon Mowat to express his displeasure.
To be continued at Humberstone Speedway, I'm sure.
Quite possibly, or to be continued in turn 1. Lettingham closing in again. He'll come across the nose of the 46 of Mowat. He'll slow down into turn number 1. A classic cool down lap maneuver. I think once they head to the pits, they're over and done with.
Charlie Sandercock wins over Andrew Hennessy and Austin King. What a drive for him. Started 21st and worked his way through the field near catastrophe on the backstretch at one point, but nonetheless he ends up on the podium and on the concrete down in Quick Victory Lane. And our Clinton Jeffrey will be down there to talk to Charlie Sandercock in just a moment as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky for what was a great finish for the Northeast Late Model Alliance race here tonight. Let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey as Charlie Sandercock gets unbuckled and gets ready to climb out of his car.
Thanks a lot, Greg. The master of the late models here in Ontario, Charlie Sandercock, grabs the win. How about at Ohsweken Speedway? He'll make his way to Quick Firestarter Victory Lane here tonight. Charlie Sandercock gets it done. Charlie make his way around the front, shake hands with teammate Andrew Hennessy. How about that battle they put on there, ladies and gentlemen? Let them know you appreciated it. Charlie, when you and your teammate Andrew get together like that, class of the field really putting on a show, slicing and dicing. Welcome here to Quick Fire Starter Victory Lane and a winner on the tour.
Yeah, thanks. It's been definitely a long week here at the shop, at the farm, and we found a bunch of kind of some overlooked stuff this week and just kind of trying to get this car back to square one. And I got to thank my crew. Like, those guys work nonstop. Andrew, Mark, the girls, Gary back at home, everyone that helped us out. It wouldn't be possible this year, more than any years, if it wasn't for the crew. Those guys definitely put in a whole bunch of work and hours.
Right on, Charlie Sandercock gets the win here. We'll get over and talk to Andrew Hennessy. Andrew, solid run. I mean, you led a lot of that race. You all got to know, looking at the board, when Charlie's coming, you know he's a tough competitor. Talk about the slide job battles between you and him, having some great racing through traffic there at the end.
Well, I think he was going to get me a little earlier than that, and then the caution came out quick. He kind of showed me the top was a bit quicker at that point. I didn't really expect that slider. Once he went by me like that, I tried it myself, and the cars actually stuck a lot better than I thought they were going to. So congrats to him. It must have been a good race to watch there at the end, and that's probably what you want to see, is two guys going for it at the end. So if I got to get beat, it better be by the boss. So
right on. Andrew Hennessy grab a second. We'll get over here and grab a third. Chat with our third place driver, Austin King. Austin, not too bad at night when you can finish second to these two guys here on the concrete here at Ohsweken.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I couldn't believe it started from the 10th row or something way back, and the car just came alive late in the race. It was awesome.
Great job. Austin King will grab third here tonight. Andrew Hennessy will be second, and Charlie Sandercock will be our feature winner here tonight for the Northeast Late Model Alliance feature event for the late models. We'll be right back after a quick break here live on G-Force TV. One feature event to go.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV. Back live on G-Force TV, Club 54 presents Friday Night Excitement at Ohsweken Speedway. One feature left to go. It's the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars. 20 laps will be the distance in this final feature of the night. Ryan Turner comes into tonight the point leader by one marker over brother Corey Turner. And the guy in third didn't even start the B-main tonight. Josh Hansen with problems, so the points are going to shake up for sure. Liam Martin, who will go from the pole tonight, he's fourth in points, and Nick Sheridan up there in the fifth spot. Some of the young guns already playing around in the points. Here's how they'll line up going from the pole. As I mentioned, from Binbrook, car number 9, Liam Martin, to his outside from Brantford, the 10 of downtown Mitch Brown. Starting in third from Mount Bridges, the 45 of Nick Sheridan. And to his outside, it's Jake Brown in the Little Ben 110. He's from Brantford. Starting in fifth, second place in points, 2 wins this year at a Tilsonburg in the 13. It's Corey Turner. And starting in the sixth spot from Hamilton, the 01K, Mikey Krutchka. Going off seventh, it's Aaron Turkey out of Ohsweken in the 68. His teammate lines up On the outside, he was the Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winner from Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia. Car number 20, that is Braden Cooley. Starting in 9th out of Dunnville, car number 14H, Ryan Turner to his outside from Port Colborne. The 5D is Jacob Dykstra. From Dorchester, car number 1, Holly Porter. She'll be in the 11th starting spot. To her outside from Scotland, the 87X, Sean Evans. Going 13th. From right here in Ohsweken, car 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers to his outside from Lewiston, New York, the 81. Derek Jonathan goes 14th. Starting 15th from Grimsby, car number 90, Travis Cunningham. Alongside him from Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. Going 17th in car 17X from St. Thomas, it's Jesse Costa. To his outside from Ohsweken, the 77T, Tyler Powless. 19th spot from Beachville, the 5 at EJ Christie. Alongside him from Caister Center, the 11 of Jamie Turner. Going off 21st from St. Catharines, the 46 of Kevin Pauls. 22nd out of Wilsonville, the 94X, Scott Hall. And in the back row, starting 23rd from St. Williams, the 21 of John Burbridge Jr. And starting in 24th out of Brampton, the 70mm, Dave McKnight Jr.
12 rows of 2 make up this feature event. 20 laps is the distance.
And we're going to salute you, the fans, here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need you on your feet to send these drivers off. 20 laps of battle for the 360 Sprint Car Division tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, grab something, a hat, a program, whatever you got, and send these drivers on. Show them how much you want to see another great race here tonight. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Field will take shape in behind the Strickland GMC Pace truck. They'll come down across the stripe this time, and I believe, yep, the white flag being displayed as we get ready to go. 2 by 2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Liam Martin, Mitch Brown on the front row. They'll creep behind the Strickland GMC Pace truck. Dave Hunsinger with the double green flags in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show? Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
Good clean start out in front. It's Liam Martin over Mitch Brown. 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Down into turn 3. Nick Sheridan on the bottom. Mikey Krutchka in the middle. Jacob Brown on the high side.
Yeah, Krutchka makes a nice move. He'll jump up to the 3rd spot behind Martin and Brown. He's got Sheridan right behind him.
So Liam Martin taking advantage of that clean air, driving out in front. Mikey Krutchka, he likes these slick racetracks, working over the back of Mitch Brown. Further back, Jacob Dykstra. Man, you couldn't get any lower on the racetrack than Dykstra was, as we've got a mix-up at the back between Scott Hall and Dave McKnight. Both drivers able to keep their cars going.
We stay green. It's Liam Martin out in front looking for win number 2 on the year. Mitch Brown behind him. Mitch doesn't have a win yet here at Ohsweken, but he does have one down at Humberstone Speedway as he's tracking down the driver of the Nitro 54 variety, number 9.
Nick Sheridan and Corey Turner swapping slide jobs out there on the racetrack. That's a battle for the 4th spot right now. Corey Turner gets that spot. He'll try to track down Krutchka in the 0-1 out in front. Liam Martin putting a lap down Dave McKnight Jr.
He'll work now to the outside of Scott Hall as you see the 2nd and 3rd place runners, Mitch Brown and Mikey Krutchka. There is Ryan Turner in the 14H tonight. He's being tracked by Jake Brown.
There is not a dominant groove out there right now. I mean, the leaders are up on the high side. But there are cars making tracks on the bottom, but right now the outside looks to be where the top 3 want to run out on the racetrack.
Liam Martin works through corner number 2. Lap traffic in front of him is Kevin Pauls and John Burbridge Jr. Behind him is where things are starting to heat up. It's Mitch Brown in the second spot. Mikey Krutchka rolling the bottom right now, trying to make a move on Brown. And then behind that, it's Corey Turner and Nick Sheridan.
Mitch Brown is a very smooth driver behind the wheel of the 10. I'll tell you, Liam Martin has given me heart palpitations in turn 2. He is coming real close to that outside wall.
It's quite the dip there when you come off the banking in corner 2 down to the concrete wall. I had a look at it last week as I walked around, and Liam Martin uses every inch, it seems almost every lap there in corner 2.
He definitely gets the most out of this racetrack as Martin out in front. 9 laps complete as Nick Sheridan goes past Corey Turner one more time for the 4th spot. Turner carves that 13 underneath the 45 and steals it right back.
Liam Martin out in front. Mitch Brown is staying pace right now. I think he might be closing in just a wee bit on car number 9 as Mikey Krutchka's behind him in the 3rd spot. And Corey Turner and Nick Sheridan stay together, and boy, they almost got together.
That was close as they almost rubbed tires down the front straightaway. That was the halfway point that last lap. 9 laps to go now as Liam Martin comes across the start-finish line.
Mitch Brown works around Jamie Turner in the 11 as Liam Martin now works the inside line by Tyler Powless off of corner number 2. We're seeing Ryan Turner in the 14H, the point leader heading into tonight as he sails down the backstretch.
Ryan Turner is closing in on Nick Sheridan. Corey Turner is driven away just a little bit in that 4th spot, but Ryan Turner closing the gap as Liam Martin now goes to the inside of Jesse Costa down into turn number 3. It'll put Jesse Costa down a lap in that 17X. No, Jesse Costa fights back.
Liam Martin will work the bottom, get by Jesse Costa down into corner number 1, then sails up the track. Mitch Brown has definitely closed the gap with all this working through the lap traffic, and now Mikey Krutchka is right on the tail taking Mitch Brown.
2nd and 3rd right together as they work into 3 and 4, and they're closing in on the leader, Liam Martin, as he's got heavy lap traffic. Man, oh man, that was close as he cut across the tail tank of Derek Jonathan in the 81.
Liam Martin down the backstretch in heavy traffic. He gets to the inside of McKnight Jr. and now to the inside of Glenn Steyer. Sails way up high in corner number 4. Meanwhile, 2nd and 3rd are right there side by side of the line.
Krutchka down to the bottom of the 0-1. Brown towards the high side of the racetrack as they'll race down the back straightaway. Krutchka to the 2nd spot.
What a story. The 2 drivers that had contact 1 week ago now are 1 and 2 in the standings. And Krutchka, he's closing in on the leader.
Liam Martin really struggling. They were 3 wide for a second right in front of the race leader Martin. He tries to finesse his way to the inside of Scott Hall, but couldn't quite do it. He's still mired behind 3 wide lap traffic.
Boxed in completely. Nowhere to go for Liam Martin. Now he'll dive down to the inside. Krutchka will work around Hall, trying to keep pace with the leader. He's right there a car length off, and Mitch Brown's to his outside.
It'll be 2 laps to go. This is as close as the leaders have run since about lap 5. Liam Martin sends it down the inside of Sean Evans.
2 laps left to go for Liam Martin, looking for his 2nd win of the year, as is Mikey Krutchka. Here they come, the top 3. Mitch Brown to the outside of Krutchka takes 2nd.
What a move by Mitch Brown to take the 2nd spot. 1 lap to go. Can he take the lead?
Coming down to the white flag. Brown on the bottom. Liam Martin rolling the outside line. He's trapped in behind Sean Evans. He'll dive down low.
I don't know if Liam Martin knows anybody's there, but Jake Brown is right there ready to pounce, Greg.
Here comes Mitch Brown trying to draw in on leader. Liam Martin goes down to the inside. They're wheel to wheel off of corner number 4. Coming to the checkered flag at the line. Liam Martin pulls out the win.
Mitch Brown comes home 2nd. Mikey Krutchka going to take 3rd. Corey Turner 4th. Nick Sheridan 5th. What a race. I thought Mitch Brown was going to get him. I thought.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
I thought he had it on the bottom as well, but boy, oh boy, Liam Martin rolls it on the outside and picks up his 2nd win of the year over Brown and Krutchka 3rd. All 4 features tonight really came right down to the end.
That was one of the best nights of racing I can remember. Those features were all entertaining. A lot of fun to watch. Mikey Kruchka, he knows his spot down there on Quick victory lane. He's taking his position. Mitch Brown going to go through where the second place driver parks, and Liam Martin pulling that Nitro 54 number 9 front and center.
Came in 4th place in points, 2nd win on the year for the Nitro 54 variety driver. Liam Martin in his first full campaign here at Ohsweken Speedway in the 360 division. And he's probably going to leap ahead now, obviously, of Josh Hansen, who was unable to start, so he'll be up in the top 3 in points heading into next week. Things are definitely going to be jumbled up when we get back with the 360s. As Liam Martin pulls off the helmet, let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Greg. Liam Martin here out of the Nitro 54 number 9. We'll get him around front and have a word with us. He get over there. Shake hands with Mitch Brown. Liam, what a drive tonight. You look up there and just giving her all night long, man. You're giving these guys fits. You nearly put it in the wall half those laps, man.
Yeah, it was tight racing out there. We got a really good redraw after our pretty good heat race, running the lead against Mikey there. Had a great run with him in the heat race, was good, had a good redraw. That helped us out in the feature, and we were just able to work that top line and get a good bite to the start of the feature, and then when we worked through lap traffic, that's when we got slowed up a bit. But all in all, it worked out good. Seen Mitch there at the end, knew he was coming, knew he was fast, so we're proud to come out on top.
Right on, Liam Martin grabs the win here tonight. We'll get over here and talk to Mitch Brown. Mitch, solid drive for you. Downtown Mitch Brown getting it done. Talk about rolling the inside and getting past Mikey and almost getting a shot at Liam here at the end.
Yeah, Mikey kind of showed me the bottom, and I seen his number on the board. I figured he'd be down there, and I'd sort of been on the top, just following Liam the whole race. But that was a great finish there. I was back to 3rd and almost got him at the line.
Right on, Mitch Brown. We'll grab 2nd. We'll get over here and talk to Mikey Kruchka. Mike, 3rd place. You don't look too impressed tonight. What's up, Mike? You had a run, almost got 2nd there, got 3rd at the end.
Yeah, you know, it's a good problem to have when you're pissed off about finishing 3rd. Congrats to Liam. He pulled the pole and didn't drive it off the end too many times tonight, so he's managed to keep the win, so it's good for him. Yeah, I'm just bummed at myself. I pushed the wing back a little too far, a little too early, and the bottom kind of came in there, and I just couldn't quite roll the center of the bottom there, and man, I'm dejected. They were both primed for the pick in there, man. I could have swore I was going to get this one, and it just wasn't there the last couple laps. I made a couple mistakes, and my car was just a tick off at the end, but 3rd place is good. Whenever you're on the concrete, that's all right, and I guess I'll crack a smile here for that, but I'm just bummed because I knew, especially after getting wrecked by Liam last week, I really wanted to beat him. I kind of wanted to feed him a wheel on the way by too, but we'll save that for next week. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be a pain in these guys' ass for a while, and as the season gets towards the end, I'll have less and less regard for my own equipment because I'll have all winter to fix it, and it's time to get tough.
There's Mikey Kruchka down here, 3rd place. How about a hand for 2nd place, Mitch Brown, your winner tonight. Liam Martin, ladies and gentlemen. That'll wrap up an early night here at Ohsweken. We appreciate you coming out. What a great drive it was by all our teams tonight. Adam and Greg, take us home. Don't forget, we'll be live tomorrow from Sawwell Beach with the APC Series.
Great night of racing. Don't forget to join us next Friday night as well. Renway Energy presents Kids Race, Canadian National Autism Foundation night, plus it's Christmas in August. All 4 of our regular divisions back on the card next Friday night right here on G-Force TV. Excellent night of racing, Adam. Again, great finishes in all 4 divisions, and got to see a little bit of different... Oh, we got our 50-50. Before we wrap things up, do we have the winning number? Did they announce the winning number? All right, well, we're going to wrap things up on G-Force TV. We'll take care of that afterwards. Nonetheless, we'll wrap things up from here at Ohsweken Speedway on behalf of the Steyers family and on behalf of Clinton, Jeffrey, Adam Ross. My name's Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you next time here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.